Is the moment they've been waiting for. NC State has built this roster through the years to take on their biggest conference challenge. The Wolfpack delivers a steady leader in quarterback Ryan Finley. He has the pack in position for an ACC championship game if he can topple the Tigers. Dabo Swinney's reigning champs have gotten over their speed bump. The loss is in the rearview mirror. The playoff ranking is lofty, and Kelly Bryant's wheels are just fine. The high-octane offense is revving up again. It's the ACC Divisional Showdown to decide it. November ball. Time to stay alive right now. Great scene in Raleigh for college football on ABC, presented by K Jewelers. Another ranked versus ranked game on a day filled with them. Number 4 Clemson, that freshly minted college football playoff ranking next to their name, taking out a very experienced, a very talented 20th ranked NC State. Good afternoon, everybody. Joe Tessitore and Todd Blackledge with you. Holly will join in the conversation in just a moment. What a day it shapes up to be in the ACC with these divisional races here. We could almost assuredly, the winner could find themselves in the championship game. And then you see what's going on later tonight right here on ABC as Miami could finally clinch their division. Big day, Todd.
It really is. And in terms of our game, I mean, how good of a deal is it if you can be a team that has a very disappointing road loss in October and still when the calendar flips in November, you're right where you want to be. Clemson, even in the national championship picture. So huge game here today in Raleigh.
And for NC State, that 0 is all that matters in the division, right? The 2 non-conference, forget about them for the moment. Love the talent on the field here, especially on the defensive line.
Yeah, you know, both these teams pride themselves on playing great defense, and the backbone is the defensive line. For North Carolina State, they've got 3 or 4 guys with high NFL grades led by Bradley Chubb, but it's not just a one-man show. They are strong across the front. That is the strength of their defense. For Clemson, they're the stingiest defense in the conference, and they've got speed and athleticism, and they really come after the quarterback. They lead the country in sacks 4 a game, and they average 8 tackles for loss. So both these defenses really get after the quarterback.
And here comes the pack. Dave Doran's team. In front of these fans who have watched a lot of tough times in recent years against Clemson. This should have been upset a year ago. It got away from them. And Dabo and the Tigers. It's all right in front of them. The cascade of boos. But they've won 5 straight against NC State. Kickoff to take a big step towards the ACC championship game when we return. Doubleheader day for the great conference race here as you're watching the ACC on ESPN. NC State and Clemson set to go here. Here's both coaches' final comments to their teams.
When we leave that field, I don't care how you feel, every ounce, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically, is left on that turf. And enjoy every damn second of it. You got me? Yes, sir. That's what you got.
Are you ready? We built for this. It's up to you. Are you committed? Do you care? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And you gonna give me best. We'll be all right. Let's go. Let's put the balls in. Get off this field, man. Get off this field. Let's go. All in on 3, 1, 2, 3. All in. Let's go get it. Let's go.
Dabo 3 weeks removed from that upset at Syracuse. Holly.
Well, a big question mark for NC State today is their best offensive weapon, Nyheim Hines, who averages 158 all-purpose yards per game, has a right ankle injury. He didn't finish the game last week, and he spent most of this week in the rehab room. He said he woke up at 5:45 every morning and spent 3 to 4 hours a day trying to get right. He had some practice Wednesday, full speed on Thursday, but he hasn't been tackled. He did say that he is not going to try to go slow. Their offensive coordinator said, we're not going to try to ease him into it. We have to hit the hole going hard and going at full speed. They're not going to try to ease him into it. Either he can play or he can't. That will be a big question mark for them.
He has never known slow in his life. Pure track speed for Hines. We will monitor that all day long to see how he looks. NC State won the toss. Clemson will receive.
One big thing for North Carolina State, Joe, in this ball game is they've got to control their emotions. I think that got away from them a little bit in South Bend a week ago. They know it's a big game, obviously, but they have to play within themselves and be who they are to knock off Clemson.
Kyle Bamberg goes back to kick off. It was a year ago, he was a young man who missed the potential game-winning field goal against Clemson. Of course, would go on to win the national championship. Feaster and Etienne back to return for the Tigers. And the junior quarterback, Kelly Bryant, the big man on campus from a small town he loves.
I'm from a small town, Cannon Falls, South Carolina. My son is that.
Ain't no one like me.
There's just one red light, 2 gas stations, so that's about it. I love going back home and just seeing people there, and every time I go to a gas station, ask how I'm doing. I feel like it gives hope to other kids, South Carolina quarterbacks, that they can come here and play quarterback as well.
He loves going back home, and Clemson fans love having him back at home in the backfield, healthy. As Feaster doesn't find much there, just a yard.
Bryant's really having a fine season. He's had to battle through some injuries. Had an ankle injury in the Georgia Tech game, and then a concussion in the loss at Syracuse, but he is 100% right now.
And tempo is a big part of who they are. They want to try to up the pace a bit. 2nd and 9. Bryant tried to go back shoulder to Kane. It'll be 3rd and long. Impact players include a very good-looking freshman running back in Etienne. He's going for 8.4 yards per carry. Hunter Renfrow still Mr. Reliable. Bradley Chubb has 7.5 sacks, and Fernandez cleans up a lot at linebacker for NC State.
Well, Renfro's the guy you got to pay attention to on 3rd down. That is when he is at his best. And you also have to be aware of the running ability, the impromptu running ability of Kelly Bryant on 3rd down situations. Have to rush with discipline if you're North Carolina State.
3rd and 9, a little bit of pressure coming off the edge as Bryant is intercepted. Tim Kidd Glass, what a way to start the day for the Wolfpack.
Well, they were trying to go to Renfrow on a wheel route. Renfrow read the blitz, and he pulls up. Here's Renfrow right here. Watch him read the blitz and stop to get a quick throw. But Kelly Bryant threw it where he would have been had there not been pressure, and it went right to the safety for the interception. Renfrow saw the blitz, and Kelly Bryant did not, and there was a miscommunication on that 3rd down play.
Jarius Moorhead was coming in with pressure against Bryant, and Tim Kidd Glass, the sophomore, with the interception.
Very important, I think, for North Carolina State to get on the board first here. Set the tempo with their offense. And right away, we see Jalen Samuel in the shotgun in the Wildcat.
And they start with Jalen Samuels, one of the most versatile players in college football, tackled for a loss of 1. Cleveland Farrell.
Again, we mentioned at the top of the show, the 2 defensive lines in this ball game are as good of a collection of players as you'll see on the same field at any time this season. All kind of NFL talent, and Farrell showed a little bit of that on that play.
As they motion Hines now behind Finley. And he will get the call, and not much again. That was big Dexter Lawrence with the tackle. Now, Ryan Finley has had an interesting journey to arrive here at NC State. Started his career at Boise, the grad transfer, but junior eligibility. Grew up in Phoenix, good-looking athlete, tops the ACC in completion percentage.
Very smart guy, very cerebral. Plays a little bit with a chip on his shoulder because of what happened at Boise State, and has really earned the respect of his teammates here in Raleigh.
3rd down and 10.
Have to have a clock in your head, though, against these guys because they really pressure.
And here it comes straight up the middle. Finley gets rid of it. Downfield, wide open, into the end zone. Kelvin Harmon.
Beautiful job by Ryan Finley reading the quarters coverage and hanging on to that ball to the very last minute before cutting it loose. He knew he had what he wanted, but he had to let him get a little separation.
It can't start better than that. Defense gave him the ball, and then Finley gave them a chance. With heat in his face, downfield, Harmon on the glory end. Wolfpack up. First time all year Clemson has given up a touchdown after a turnover. Harmon, the 40-yard touchdown catch from Ryan Finley, his 13th passing touchdown of the year. Bryant threw the pick on Clemson's opening series.
Clemson is a pressure defense that lives and dies with a lot of man-to-man coverage, and that first third down play, it really got him.
Here's Etienne from about the 5. And a good return out to the 30. Time now for All-State, all-hands in play.
Clemson is going to go with pressure, which is going to leave man-to-man coverage, and this is a mere trap in man coverage. You can see all over the place, it's straight man. And Kelvin Harmon is going to run a post route, get inside, and a perfect throw by Ryan Finley, who's going to have to throw this under pressure because you're going to see a free safety coming unblocked, and Finley holds on to it knowing he's going to get hit and makes a perfect throw under duress. Great way to start for the Wolfpack.
Feaster goes ahead for about 2.5 yards. And keep in mind, Todd, we were talking about it all week long. Clemson's down a couple of corners. Mark Fields out injured. Marcus Edmonds has been out. So a guy like Trapp, sophomore, out on the field at 5'8", 170.
And we might even see Ray McLeod play some defensive back in this ball game. He's changed his number for that reason in this ball game.
That is him in motion right there, wearing number 21. And here is Kelly Bryant doing what he does best. Of course, the left ankle injury on October 7th, but now you can see back to full speed.
He is a bigger version than Deshaun Watson at the quarterback, and faster. And 18 yards on that carry. He was the leading rusher a week ago, which shows you that he is fully recovered from that ankle injury suffered against Georgia Tech.
Easter wrapped up by Bradley Chubb. Let's go to the studio to Cassidy.
Thanks, Joe. AT&T Field Pass. Ohio State coming off their big win last week, visiting Iowa, and this is not the start the Buckeyes wanted. First play from scrimmage, J.T. Barrett picked off by Imani Hooker, and Barrett's second pick all season. Hawkeyes right now up 7-0 early in the first on ESPN. Joe, Todd, Holly, back to you.
A lot to keep tabs on with all the games today, including Ohio State's in an early hole. There is Feaster for 5, Boone with the tackle.
This Clemson offense a little different than a year ago, really leaning on their running game, coming in averaging right around 220 yards a game. Last year they were a little more reliant on the pass with Watson at quarterback.
3rd and 4. Nice movement up front with Chubb. Could be a free play for Bryant.
You know what's ironic about that, what we just saw, Joe, is that resulted in a very bad play for North Carolina State in South Bend last week. Same thing. They thought they had an offsides penalty and a free play. The center snapped the ball.
Before the snap, false start. Offense number 21. 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
Dabo wasn't too pleased and was letting the line judge know about it. That was Ray McLeod who got tagged there.
Bradley Chubb jumped and never got back out of the neutral zone. He stayed in there. Clemson for the second time now, 3rd and 9.
Bryant too high for Ray. Holly.
Nyheim Hines is usually the punt returner in this situation and the kickoff returner. Dave Doran said he was going to let Nyheim tell him before the game, was he able to return kicks in this? They want to be conservative. He's just going to play offense today. That's why you see Jalen Samuel out there tonight. Nyheim is out on the bike, just trying to keep that ankle loose for now, but will not participate on special teams.
Probably a smart decision. You know, you kind of know where the defenders are coming from when you're running the football or running pass routes. It's a little different deal, returning punts and kicks.
So Smyers will try to pin this inside the 20, and fair caught by Gavin Locklear. Touchdown lead for 20th ranked NC State.
College football on ABC is presented by K Jewelers. K Jewelers, every kiss begins with K. And in part by Buick, proud partner of the NCAA.
You know, Clemson and NC State have two of the largest university-level textile schools in the world. We visited the top-ranked textile college here at NC State. Speaking of desiring good fabric, watch Bradley Chubb, the All-American defensive end, walk up to Kelly Bryant after that third down and say, I'm going to take your towel.
Yeah,
that's
not only take it, I'm going to use it. I'm going to go ahead and keep it, put it on my belt, and use it. You know, he likes to talk a little bit, try to get in the head of the opposing players. Even got in a fight with his own quarterback, Ryan Finley, in summer camp. So Bradley Chubb with the first little tricky action in the ball game.
Took the man's towel. Finley gets it to Hines. Remember, he's dealing with that injury this week, and the pursuit got to him, including Trey Lamar.
So fast, this Clemson defense. I mean, Hines is a world-class sprinter, despite the injury. But this defense flies. They 11 tackles for loss a week ago against Georgia Tech, and when they put you behind the chains or put you in second and long, then that really feeds into when they're at their best.
Finley on the slant. He's able to get it complete to Lewis.
Really quick read by Trayvon Mullen, one of those new corners that's in the ball game. A young sophomore out of Fort Lauderdale. They think he's got a chance to be a great player. He's got length. He's 6'2", has good speed. But if he's going to jump on that slant that quickly, Ryan Finley's going to put that one in the back of his mind and go slant and go here before too long.
Well, the sophomore started last week against Georgia Tech. Remember, Mark Fields is out injured. Third and 3. Finley, that ball batted, and then he catches it himself, and that'll bring up a fourth down. It was big Christian Wilkins deflecting that pass.
Clemson likes to rush 5 most of the time because they're committed to playing man-to-man. They can rush 5 and still have a free safety in the middle of the field, and Wilkins able to get his hand on that one.
A.J. Cole into punt. Ray McLeod, that New Jersey number, is back deep. And Cole turns this ball over all the way to the 24. And it gives McLeod a chance as he cuts to the inside, past midfield, and on the go. New Jersey, same old speed. Ray McLeod. How about it? Tigers roar.
You got to make the first guy miss. That little stutter step froze both of the gunners. It was such a good punt. It allowed McLeod to set it up, and then some shoddy tackling. But making those first 2 guys miss with the hesitation is all McLeod needed.
Folks, when you hear the old phrase of out-kicking your coverage, it is defined by a 56-yard punt with a 4.93 hang time. It was too good, Todd. Too good.
Right in the middle of the field. You know, it didn't help his defenders out, kicking it in between the hashes either.
77-yard punt return touchdown for Ray McLeod. What a way to answer the junior speedster in special teams. Former NC State head coach Chuck Amato is back here today because it's the 50th anniversary of the 1967 team he was a part of. He was a linebacker on that team that upset the number 2 team in the country back then. It was Houston.
Chuck's wearing looser shirts these days. I remember him wearing those tight ones. Chuck the chest.
He's looking good. Spence will kick away for Clemson after McLeod wowed us all with a 77-yard punt return touchdown. A line drive to the corner, and that draws out the flag. Reminder later here on ABC, it's the other half of this outstanding day in the ACC. Number 13, Virginia Tech, and top 10, Miami at Hard Rock Stadium. That's 8 o'clock on ABC. Of course, Miami, the nation's longest active win streak at 12 games. 7-0 starts, though, haven't treated them well in the past. 0-3 and 2013 blown out when they tried to go 8-0. Will things change tonight?
This Miami team has not wowed people, but one thing they are doing extremely well is turning the ball over. They lead the nation in turnover margin, and that's a huge statistic in college football.
Virginia Tech also top 20 in turnover margin this season. That's going to be a good one right here on ABC tonight.
Samuel in the backfield now.
And he is wrapped up by Wilkins.
It's an interesting offensive team personnel-wise, North Carolina State, because Jalen Samuel and Nyheim Hines are versatile guys. They can both play wide receiver. They can both line up at running back. Samuels is a little bigger athlete, but their versatility gives them a lot of options. Elia Drinkwitz, the offensive coordinator, a bright young mind in college football, and he utilizes their skills. They want to get both of those guys the ball in space. That's when they're at their best.
2nd and 9, play action for Finley. And he gets it complete as Myers was crossing midfield. First down, NC State, 16-yard reception.
Maximum protection, and he does a nice job of just sidestepping Dexter Lawrence. Dexter Lawrence was putting pressure on the inside, and Ryan Finley coolly just stepped away from him and delivered the ball on the crossing route down the field. Really good start so far for Ryan Finley. 5 for 5 now in the ball game.
Gillespie comes in at running back. Samuel's number 3 receiver, slot to the bottom of your screen. Here's that slant that they've looked to a couple times early on. Myers 8 more yards.
Last year when these teams met at Clemson, North Carolina State moved the ball well, but they had problems when they got into the red zone. Their first 3 trips into the red zone only resulted in 3 points.
Both these quarterbacks we have here today are excellent off of play action. Top 2 in the ACC.
Both teams have outstanding offensive lines as well, and that's a big part of it.
2nd and 2 as he fakes the pitch and then is gobbled up by Cleveland Farrell.
That was a play that hurt Clemson last year. They ran that play about 4 times a year ago, and it really caused some problems. This time Clemson was ready for it, and Farrell just stayed right at home. He didn't go for the fake. He was responsible for the quarterback, and he brings up a 3rd down and short.
Third and 3, Hines coming around on jet motion, tackled just a half-yard short by Trey Lamar. Unless they're generous with the spot here, we will see.
Well, again, you see the speed of this defense. That's a world-class sprinter, and Trey Lamar tracked him down short of the first down.
And he quickly went up to the line, but now Riley Johnson and this crew are going to call for the change, which will give NC State and Dave Doran, his 5th year here, time to think things over.
A week ago in South Bend, in the 3rd quarter when North Carolina State was down 14, they had a nice drive, and they got all the way down to the 6-yard line of Notre Dame on a 4th and 1, and they went for it and got stuffed. It really was a deflating play. Here he is with another 4th down situation outside of field goal range. And it looks like he's going to keep his offense on the field and go for this one. in this offensive line, a very experienced group. They've been healthy the whole season. They've been together as a unit. Will Richardson, the right tackle, sat out the first 2 games for a suspension, but they have been together ever since, and a big play in the ball game right here.
Gillespie in there. He's 30 pounds heavier than Hines. More the straight-ahead guy. 4th and 1. As they go with Samuels, he's going to need to cut it up. Bounces it. Can Samuels get there? First down, NC State.
That shows you the respect they have for Christian Wilkins, who is lined up right over the center. Christian Wilkins is right here. And out of respect, they're going to give the ball wide on 4th and 1 and let Samuel bounce it for the first down. Nice little move by Samuel to get to the perimeter. Good situation right here again for play action pass. Get that first down on 4th down. You've got new corners in the game, and you got a safety in man coverage with a club on his hand right there.
And caught just short of the 30. Stephon Lewis, 6-yard reception.
Tanner Muse, the free safety, broke his hand in the Georgia Tech game a week ago. He's got a big cast and a padded cast on his left hand. That's okay if you're just playing free safety and coming up and tackling, but when you have to be in coverage, which North Carolina State will try to get him in by formation or by motion, that's a different deal. Brent Venables, defensive coordinator.
Look at this shift as they bring the line back in. They had a muddle huddle for a moment when they came out. 2nd and 4. That was awkward as he tried to collect it, but this isn't. Jalen Samuels gashing the Clemson defense to the 15.
Nice job by Finley, just regaining control of the football. He almost dropped it on the ground. This is their bread and butter play, the stretch play, the outside zone with a lead block by the tight end. They are really excellent at running that play.
Samuels now. The blockers in front. Inside the 10. It's a good-looking, well-managed drive by Finley and company.
Again, last year the problems recurred when they got in the red zone. Their first 3 chances in the red zone, they had penalties, they had loss of yardage plays, and they only had 3 points to show for it. Will they be able to capitalize on this drive into the red zone?
2nd and 3. Samuels again getting steady work now. Dorian O'Daniel with the tackle. It'll be 3rd and short.
Dorian O'Daniel is having a dominant year for this Clemson defense. A 5th-year senior who just kind of paid his dues and kept getting better and better. Has had an outstanding year as kind of the nickelback hybrid linebacker. Now the ball game now with heavier personnel coming in.
Working on a 5.5-minute drive here. 3rd and 1. Big bodies come in. 2 tight ends. Samuel, the featured back.
Unbalanced line to the right.
Play action off of it to the end zone. Flag comes in as Cook was the target. Chad Smith got caught up in coverage, the backup middle linebacker.
Pass interference. Defense number 43. Automatic first down.
Chad Smith just grabbed right away. He grabbed and held the tight end. There he is, number 43. He's got a hold of the jersey. The only receiver in the route. It's a one-man route with an unbalanced line, an extra offensive lineman in the formation. They got the Clemson defense right where they wanted them. Ryan Finley is really operating effectively in this offense right now. Playing with poise, good balance of run and pass.
1st and goal. Samuels. Try to get that pad leverage as he's just short. He'll be inside the 1-yard line. Tanner Muse with that club on his hand with the tackle.
Yeah, this stretch play is really their best play. Their backs run it well. They run with patience. They press the line of scrimmage. And the athleticism of the offensive line moving on those outside tracks is what makes it a good play for them.
A little extra beef comes into the game. Backup offensive line Peter Daniel checks in as they go jumbo here, does NC State.
And that right side tight end is an offensive lineman.
Wildcat look with Samuels, the direct snap. Up and reaching in for the touchdown.
Dexter Lawrence is going to get off his block and have a chance, but the reach by Samuels is what got the touchdown. Dexter Lawrence got to the body, but the ball crossed the goal line.
8th rushing touchdown of the year for J. Sam, as they call him in these parts. That leads the team. Wise tacks it on. And NC State retakes the lead. Big battle here to see who will be in prime position to reach the ACC championship game. 12-play drive with 7 at the end of it.
What makes your country?
Do-it-all guy, Jalen Samuels, scoring the touchdown for NC State. Remember, they converted that 4th and 1 to keep that drive alive moments ago. Joe Tessitore, Todd Blackledge, Holly Rowe with you here in Raleigh, North Carolina. Big day in the ACC. We got number 4 versus number 20 here this afternoon, and then Miami, Virginia Tech tonight.
9 runs and 3 passes on that drive. 31 yards rushing already for North Carolina State, only 50 a week ago at Notre Dame.
Travis Etienne, explosive, dynamic freshman, as he's wrestled down near the 29. Holly?
Well, it's time now for our Wells Fargo innovation of better. 2 former North Carolina State players have come up with a brilliant innovation. Jamel Eugene and DeJuan Morgan have actually invented a new product that is called grippers. They didn't like how when they were running backs, they would use wide receiver gloves and lose that tactile sensation. And so they have come up with a better project. It's little sleeves that go over your fingers that have gripping sensation that are really great. And we really love these. I've got them on. They have worked with a grant from the North Carolina Innovation Center. They've got a great product that's coming out. It's been approved by the NCAA and will launch in stores in December.
I think it's a great idea. And there was pressure on Bryant that time as Fernandez came plowing in.
Double X blitz right in the A gaps. North Carolina State got to Bryant on that play action pass, not able to get anything on the football.
Etienne is in the backfield with him. Bryant 0 for 5 passing. Cassidy, what's up?
Joe, Carmex Drive, what's possible? Update number 3, Notre Dame hosting Wake Forest. Fighting Irish trailing 3-0 till Brandon Wimbush takes off for the 6-yard TD run. Notre Dame up 7-3 in the first. Joe, Todd, Holly, back to you guys.
Of course, last week it was Notre Dame running all over NC State's defense. Now they are up for this one today, back home and feeling much more confident against Clemson.
Here's where you got to pay attention to Bradley Chubb. He is the bell cow, the leader of this talented North Carolina State defensive line. 3rd down and 10 is right in his wheelhouse.
Bryant gets it complete right at that line to make to the always reliable Hunter Renfrow.
Some guys just have a knack, and he's one of those guys. He knows where the sticks are. He knows how deep to push that route. And the quarterback always knows where he's going to be. And usually, he's going to be a sure-handed guy when the ball gets his way.
Renfrow with 10 yards on 3rd and 10. Etienne now is going to test that left side, gobbled up by Roseboro, who hurt his Achilles in the Notre Dame game and was somewhat limited this week.
Yeah, there were 3 defensive linemen during the course of that game last week that had to come out. Justin Jones had an elbow. Andreas Bryant had an ankle. And it really affected their run defense.
Empty look here on 2nd and 8. Incomplete. As Bryant will lift himself up off the ground.
Again, it was Bradley Chubb who was in there and talking a little bit at the end of the play. Really enjoyed visiting with him, but he is definitely a guy that wants to try to get in the opposing quarterback's head if he can.
Third and 8 for Bryant. Pick up the pressure to the outside. Wow. Right at the stick is Deion Kane.
What a catch. Kelly Bryant had to get rid of this. It looks like it might be a little short, but what a great catch. Press coverage. I think they're going for it right around. No measurement. Surprised they didn't measure that one like they did the one when North Carolina State had the football.
So a great effort on the comeback leaves them a yard short. 4th and 1. Short of midfield. Bryant, quarterback run. A little extra will do the job. First down, Clemson.
6'4", 220 pounds. They call his number quite a bit. And, not just a speed guy, shows a little power on that run. I think Clemson needs to try to do something to stretch this North Carolina State defense. Shot down the field with some maximum protection for their quarterback.
Bryant with time. Here is that shot. Looking for Thompson. And no flag at the end of it as it was Tim Kid Glass who had the interception to open up this game on coverage.
Well, this ball got out of his hands. Kelly Bryant's funny. It was way underthrown.
It's actually Sean Boone on coverage there, Todd.
I mean, his man is open. If that ball is thrown deep, it's a touchdown. But for whatever reason, Kelly Bryant doesn't get enough on this throw. And Thompson not able to come back and make the catch. Boone was invited back into coverage because of the underthrow.
Second down. As Rogers will have it for 6 yards there.
Amari Rogers has great hands. Watching him before the game, and he just snatches the ball that time. Very strong, powerfully built receiver. Caught that ball in traffic.
Final seconds of the first quarter. It's the way it should be. High energy. With the college football playoff on the line. ACC championship game on the line. 14-7 NC State. College football presented by K Jewelers will continue after this message and a word from our ABC stations. ABC College football presented by K Jewelers. NC State. 40-yard touchdown strike to Harmon, and Samuels the touchdown run as we start the second quarter here and a 3rd down for Clemson.
And this might be 2-down territory for Clemson right here, depending on what this play. The result is Hunter Renfro, main guy on 3rd down right there in the slot.
And converted a 4th down moments ago, now a 3rd and 4. Bryant with time on 3rd and 4 and gets it complete inside the 30 to Deion Kane.
Really good read by Kelly Bryant because they doubled Hunter Renfro. Watch the 2 guys go with Renfro, and Deion Kane came right in behind him. A nice read on the coverage by Kelly Bryant.
Well, Jared Fernandez, NC State's leading tackler, is still down at the end of that play. He's right in the middle of that defense. Kelly Bryant settling in after a tough start to get going. 4 of 11 for 38 yards now. Had that pick on the opening series. Here's what happened to Fernandez.
A little friendly fire at the end of the play. Leg whipped by his own guy, the safety Tim Kid Glass. Now on paper, his backup is listed as a true freshman, Luis Azus. Whether or not they'll go with him or change their personnel a little bit, we'll see on this 1st down play. So far, Clemson has struggled on 1st down. They've had 6 1st down plays, and they've only managed 7 yards. So they have not been productive on 1st down, but they have picked up a little momentum here on this drive, thanks to some conversions on 3rd and 4th down.
And Jermaine Pratt steps in for Fernandez here. And as they look to the screen and go with Bryant up the middle, but they were waiting on it.
This part of the field, quarterback run, is such a difficult thing to defend because you pick up an extra blocker and it gives you an advantage, and defensively you have to find a way to get an extra tackler around the football.
2nd and 8. Downfield to the end zone. There was some tugging and pulling along the way, and that brings out the flag. It was Mike Stevens in coverage against the speedy Ray McLeod.
Yeah, I think the ball was going to be overthrown, but the defender came through the back.
Automatic first down.
Mike Stevens is going to come through the back of McLeod down the bottom of the screen. I'm not sure McLeod could have gotten to the football. He tugged the jersey first and then ran through the back of the receiver. And a good call by the official.
There's McLeod, had a big punt return earlier. 1st and goal with the ball cresting right at the 10. As Bryant straight ahead and in.
That's a touchdown, isn't it? The ball crossed the plane, unless he was bobbling it on the way in. No signal yet.
There is a signal down on the field that it is a touchdown for Clemson. We, of course, will take a peek.
Is a touchdown.
And it was Chris Ingram who came in at the end there. Let's watch where he is in relation to the goal line.
I think he was in the end zone and dove, and the ball came out when he hit the ground. There's a touchdown right there.
Easy to see.
Great balance by Kelly Bryant, getting that ball to the end zone.
And Chris Ingram was playing right through it, jumping on that ball quickly, hoping for the best.
Again, the quarterback run in the red zone is so difficult to defend because they pick up an extra blocker. Well executed. That time, Mitch Hyatt, their best offensive lineman, the left tackle, was the lead blocker on that play.
Flag on the extra point.
Offside. Defense. Number 5. Penalties decline. The extra point is good. Timeout.
So we've had big plays by both teams, and now we've had both teams with 12-play touchdown drives. 8th rushing touchdown of the season for Kelly Bryant. Little guy's enjoying his day. What's not to like with a tie ball game here with so much on the line? Big move by Spence.
Well, the quarterback counter in the goal line, hard to defend. Now this motion is going to take care of this defender. And then you're going to see these 3 defenders get picked up by blocks. Watch the backside guard and tackle pull. The guard kicks out, and the tackle is going to pull through and pick up the other 2 guys. And the quarterback gets right in behind him. You get an extra blocker, and it's very difficult with a runner like Bryant in the red zone. Well executed for Clemson's 2nd touchdown of the ball game.
Meanwhile, on the other side, Ryan Finley, 7 for 7 passing, and among those 7 completions, 1 to himself.
Yeah,
that was batted back.
A lot of different receivers he's hit.
And make it 8 for 8, Jacoby Myers. Holland.
Well, you're seeing the product of the exit interview after last season. Dave Doran asked his quarterback, Ryan Finley, to get more accurate. He said the other goals were at 15 pounds, so you're more accurate, or you're more sturdy in the run game. And he said, we need you to develop more chemistry for the guys around you. If they'll go to war with you and play as hard as they possibly can, we need that kind of chemistry.
2nd and 1, another completion to Myers for a first down.
You know, just to add on to that, what Holly was talking about, when you transfer in from another school like Ryan Finley did, I mean, you're coming in cold. You don't know any of your teammates, and it takes a while to develop that kind of chemistry. He got to play, and he played pretty well, but he used this offseason and this summer to really get tighter with his players.
And the perfect start continues. Kelvin Harmon. And that accuracy, you know, now just 9 interceptions in 697 attempts. School record for interception avoidance ratio.
And the one he threw a week ago was really an unfortunate play. A mistake on his part of when to throw it, but there should have been a penalty called on Notre Dame that would have wiped it out.
2nd and 4. And muscling his way close to moving the chains there was Gillespie.
I like the focus of this North Carolina State team. Very disappointing loss a week ago in South Bend. And they have rebounded, and they are playing with real focus here offensively. Dave Doran's done a nice job getting his team ready to play this week. You have to play at a very high level to beat a team like Clemson. Clemson, the defending national champion, conference champion, last couple years. They're not going to beat themselves.
Here's a trick play. Back to Finley. Time to wind up, but nothing's there except for Myers, who was involved early on. He was looking downfield and then checked down, and it was a nice option to have for 21 yards.
Well, watch the action. The first handoff, the second handoff. Now he's looking downfield. Clemson has it well covered, and Finley, seeing the whole field, gets it to his outlet man, Myers, for a nice play. Instead of forcing it down the field, he took the outlet route for a good completion.
Myers was lost in all the razzle-dazzle, and now Finley able to escape and get a good chunk here inside the 20 and another first down. He beat Cleveland Farrell, surprisingly.
Well, he just gave a little bit of a hesitation, not really known as a speedster, but that little hesitation step froze Farrell, and he got to the edge. They really have this Clemson defense on their heels a little bit. The combination of running and short passing has really kind of taken a little steam out of this Clemson defense. 163 total yards right now for North Carolina State's offense.
See the balance they've had this year.
Samuel in the shotgun again.
And this time he will keep it and straight up the middle inside the 10. It'll be first and goal.
See, Samuels is a wide receiver, but he's 5'11", 230 pounds. So he's built like a running back. That's why it's no big deal for him to get into the Wildcat and run the football. And Brent Venables in Clemson wants a timeout.
Timeout. Clemson. First charge. This half.
Dabo is going to take a break here. And as you just get the sense
This will be a 30-second timeout.
that this is the one that they circled. They've been sitting on one, unloading the playbook, giving them some unique formations and utilizing that guy so well. Jalen Samuels.
I don't think that the use of Jalen Samuels in the Wildcat is a shock or a surprise to Clemson. But North Carolina State is executing out of it very well. It's been enough to offset everything else they're doing.
College football playoff rankings are brought to you by Allstate. Of course, so much is made, Todd, about what happens early on in the rankings, but we know what history has told us about looking at the first four and thinking that's cemented permanently.
Yeah. No, it's just the first ranking. That's all it is. And it really, there's not a whole lot of carryover necessarily. Of the 12 teams that were ranked in the initial ranking, only 5 of them eventually became playoff teams. So that first ranking is not necessarily a lock to anything.
I think through the years, it seems like Mississippi State being up there. Last year, Texas A&M. And right now, in that top 4.
8th play of the
reigning
drive.
national champs right in front of us.
Another good drive by the Wolfpack.
Samuels tried to spin free and is taken down for a loss of 2.
Dorian O'Daniel, again, having an all-conference type season. Couple interceptions, couple fumbles forced, tackles for loss. He's been a very active player in this Clemson defense.
And there is Nyheim Hines, who leads the team in rushing this year, but haven't seen a whole lot of him today. The injury concern with the right ankle was hurt last week against Notre Dame. Samuels and Hines in the game together now, second and goal. And they go underneath to Samuels, and once again, not much there. Kendall Joseph did a good job of filling.
When you see plays like that, you have to have great eye discipline on your defense, and Clemson had it that time. Hines was kind of the decoy on the option play, and then they tried to go underneath with the shovel pass, and Clemson was ready for all options on that particular play.
That'll leave him with a third and goal. They send 4. Caught and scored again for J. Sam.
Joe, I think Jacoby Myers thought that ball was coming to him, and Jalen Samuels said, give me that thing. Reached out with the right hand and snatched it.
Ryan Finley, 13 for 13. 2 touchdown passes. Back and forth they go. NC State brings it home again. Oh, we got a fun one here today.
College football on ABC, presented by K Jewelers, is brought to you by Pacific Life. Experience the power of Pacific. And Nissan, innovation that excites.
It was a great treat with the Nissan Heisman House Tour today here at NC State. Nate Irving, great linebacker, holds the NCAA single game tackles for loss record. 2010, Neil Everett sat down with him for the fans here. Nissan Heisman House. Nice to have a Heisman race here in November. Got a lot of great candidates after all the shakeup last weekend. Short kick fielded by Feaster. Wrestled down at the 22. All right, it's time for today's Aflac trivia question. Who's the lowest ranked team in the initial college football playoff rankings to make the playoff? We were just discussing moments ago the fact that be careful when you look at the first 4, the first release, and get in your head that things are cemented, not the way that selection committee works, nor is it the way that the fickle season plays out. So think about that. Bryant keeps, and it's a good decision. He was met hard that time by Moorhead. Holly, what can you tell us about the injury to Fernandez?
Well, guys, really good news. They told me initially that they were looking at an extremity issue in his upper extremities, that he was questionable to return to this game. But he just ran out onto the field on this series. He is back and looking fresh right now. It's crucial because he is the leading tackler for this Wolfpack team.
You get the sense that a lot of guys that aren't at 100% this week for NC State are going to find a way out there for this one. Good stick that time on Bryant. That was Kid Glass.
One of the things about this North Carolina State defense is they are a veteran group. 9 of the 11 starters are seniors, very similar to the Michigan defense a year ago. It's a group of guys, particularly led by that group up front, that has played a lot of football together. It's a very mature defensive unit.
3rd and 1. ETN just darting up the middle for a first down. Cassidy, what's up?
All right, Joe, to the Big Ten, number 6, Ohio State, trailing Iowa 17-10 until J.T. Barrett throws an absolute strike. 44 yards to an open Johnny Dixon. They're all tied up at 17 over on ESPN. Joe, Todd, Holly, back to you.
You know, Joe, you just mentioned Heisman. Let's take a look at another completion by Kelly Bryant. I'm not so sure I've ever seen a quarterback in recent history play a better 4th quarter than J.T. Barrett did a week ago against Penn State.
And because of it, in the polling we do with the official voters, he is top 4 in Heisman polling right now. Everybody's a believer after what they saw with J.T. Barrett. Second and 4. Shovel underneath. Another good look from Etienne. You mentioned the surge of J.T. Barrett. Folks, it's because Saquon Barkley in the polling is now down to 57% of first place votes. This is a wide open race.
And this guy right here, who ran for 218 yards against this North Carolina State defense a week ago. If Notre Dame keeps winning and he keeps doing what he's doing, he's averaging almost 9 yards a carry. He's going to keep climbing up the charts as well.
Guy tied for 5th, Khalil Tate. Stay up late tonight.
Yeah.
Watch him against USC. You want to see one of the most dynamic game breakers in college football? Watch Arizona's quarterback. Here's Bryant, patient, fakes it, launches it downfield. Kane, pass interference could be coming.
Yeah, they're going to get Mike Stevens again for the 2nd time in the ball game.
Defensive pass interference, number 2. Automatic first down.
See, there are certain things that the referees look for to call pass interference, and one of them is if you pull one of the arms down. And that's what it looks like is going to happen here with Mike Stevens. He's grabbing that left arm, and that's what the official saw. He actually had the jersey, and then he went to the arm. You're going to allow guys to have some pushing and grabbing and shoving, but you can't do it that way.
Receivers 2x2 stack release. Over the middle and incomplete. He was looking for Mylan Richard.
I throw that time for a big target. Mylan Richards, 6'2", 255 pounds, but that ball overthrown. Isn't that the guy with the famous uncle?
Herschel Walker is his uncle, and Uncle Herschel was here last week when Mylan had his first career touchdown. ETN, boy, he's got some wiggle to him and a little bit of burst for 5 more.
Yeah, they're really high on this guy. They think he's got a chance to be special. He fumbled early in the game a week ago against Georgia Tech, so they kind of pulled him out for a little bit. But he is a guy that is very explosive. Sometimes you are concerned with a freshman back when it comes to pass protection situations, like on this 3rd down play.
Loud crowd for a 3rd and 5. Kane couldn't corral it. Flag is down all the way back at the 40.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense number 9. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Well, Bradley Chubb, who's had a couple things going on with he and Kelly Bryant already early in the game. Just as the ball is thrown, he's going to hit him up around the neck area. He's working on Mitch Hyatt, and right here at the end of the play, hits him in the head. And that's an easy to draw a flag when you hit the quarterback up in the face.
3rd time that Clemson has gotten a first down by way of penalty.
Well, last week at Notre Dame, one of the other things that happened to this North Carolina State team is they were penalized 12 times. Dave Doran doesn't like it, but he clearly slapped him in the face after the ball was thrown.
There's a chance for a stop as ETN shifts to the backfield. And will take it and look for a block and make his way just inside the 10.
Clemson's too good of a football team, Joe. You don't want to help them out with penalties. And when you have a chance to get a stop and get your defense off the field, make them think about a field goal, you don't want to give them an extra set of downs. North Carolina State, as well as they've played, has hurt themselves a couple times on this drive.
2nd and 5. Bryant on the slant, incomplete, intended for Overton.
Well played by Jonathan Alston, the corner, number 5. Alston is a senior, but this is his first year playing defense. He was a wide receiver, reads the slant route, gets his hands in there. You can't play it any better against a big receiver. Overton is 6'5" on that slant route. Again, 3rd down, quarterback run. You got to make sure that you have discipline on your pass rush.
Saw Hunter Renfrow. He only has 1 catch today. This is a spot they often look to him at. Incomplete. Didn't have a chance for Overton that time as well. McLeod had coverage.
Bradley Chubb grabbed the towel again.
What has he got, a collection going at home?
Maybe he does. Maybe he pins them on his wall. Quarterback towels. Sacks and towels. He likes to count. Maybe. Kelly said, no, I'm taking this one. I like my towel.
Alex Spence On for the attempt, 26-yarder. As Spence puts it through. This has been going on all day. The All-American defensive end stealing the towel of Kelly Bryant.
And then he makes him give it back. Love it.
Update and check in on Bedlam. Number 5 Oklahoma up 7-3 on number 11 Oklahoma State. How about Mason Rudolph to Marcel Aitman? Just a beauty of a catch. Cowboys up 10-7. Joe, Todd, Holly, back to you.
Thank you, Cassidy. It was such a fun atmosphere for game day earlier today. Although I think maybe some eardrums were lost with Coach Corso and the weaponry on the set. We're 21-17 here. 4th-ranked team in the college football playoff rankings trailing. Samuels right in the corner. They were able to pin him. Nice cut by Jalen Samuels just to get out to the 20. All right, here's what's been going on with the towel. 3 times today, Bradley Chubb takes it from Kelly Bryant. Let's bring in our rules expert, Bill Lamagna. Bill, what's the deal here? How do they get control of this?
First of all, it's cute the first time, okay? But after that, it's going to cause a problem on the field. The center judge did a great job going and talking to him. I'd get to the coach, talk to the coach, because the next 1 or 2, he does that again, we're going to have a flag for an unsportsmanlike conduct.
Well, there's Dave Doran talking to him, putting an end to Towelgate, I think, as quickly as possible.
He's collected the towel 3 times. That's our rules expert, longtime Big Ten official, Bill Lamagna, saying could cause something, so he had a talking to. Nyheim Hines. Nice cutback. Ankle looked fine there. Holly.
Because I was able to hear what Dave Doran said to Bradley Chubb right there. He pulled him aside very gently, and he didn't really chastise him. He just said, hey, keep playing hard enough. Just play hard. He wants him to focus on playing hard and let that do the talking, not the antics.
Yeah, he's a good enough player. He doesn't need antics, that's for sure.
Ryan Finley on 2nd and 6. Remember, he's still perfect here. 14 for 14 to start the game.
They've really neutralized the pass rush of Clemson.
Hines able to get that leverage and get a first down.
Now, here's something about this running back. He is 5'9", 195 pounds. He's not an overly big guy. He's coming off of an ankle injury, and he's a track guy. But when you talk to him or talk to his teammates or coaches, that he's not your typical track guy. This is a football player who happens to run track. He's as tough as anybody on the team. Very different than a lot of track guys that I've played with or knew about as a football player.
Finley remains perfect to Harmon. Big pass past midfield. Finley's 15 for 15.
Well, they didn't even get the play action fake because Hines went the wrong way, but they still had an open receiver. And again, it's the mix of run and pass and the play action and the quick decision making of Ryan Finley that has continued to create some confusion for this very good Clemson defense.
Hines cuts back, breaks a tackle, and another first down for NC State.
He's a fierce competitor. He plays angry. That's what the offensive coordinator, Elijah Drinkwitz, how he described him. 13 yards on that carry for Nyheim Hines. Again, playing with the injury, only had 1 day of full practice. He looks inspired right now.
First incompletion of the day for Finley. You mentioned track with Nyheim Hines and that he's got that pure speed. You want to see it matched up? Watch this. First leg of the 4-by. Meanwhile, return in football, side by side. This guy can flat out go, Todd.
Well, that was a 100-yard kickoff return against Clemson 2 years ago. That was his first kickoff return for a touchdown. And he can flat out go.
PR of 10.33 as a track speedster. Option left. Finley keeps. Correct choice inside the 20. That was a good block by Stephon Lewis, his receiver.
And a good block by his tight end also, Cole Cook. Cole Cook was the lead blocker And as you take a look, this was a problem last year. 5 trips in the red zone, only 10 points. 2 times a day, 2 touchdowns, and they're there again for their 3rd opportunity in the red zone. Every coach we talked to yesterday, every player said, we've got to do a better job in that part of the field to beat Clemson this year.
Finley looking left, now looks back right, tons of time, and then throws it out of the back of the end zone.
How about the protection, though? Again, this pass rush, which is so fierce, leading the nation in sacks, not able to get to the quarterback because of the mix of run and pass. Remember, they blitzed him on the first 3rd down play of the game, and he burned him for a long touchdown throw. And the combination of mixing run and pass, quarterback run, shotgun stuff, they have done a nice job of neutralizing this pass rush by the Clemson defense. 17 dropbacks and 0 sacks allowed.
Here's Jalen Samuels, direct snap on 2nd and 10. And now they've seen that look a few times, and he doesn't get anything. It was Farrell clogging things up, as well as Kendall Joseph.
So you wonder now if North Carolina State wants to continue to use that. Will they let him throw the football? Because right now, Clemson is aware of him running the football. So will North Carolina State counter the next time they go to the Wildcat by letting Jalen Samuels throw the football?
So Joseph limp up, J.D. Davis comes on. Samuels has thrown the ball twice this year, completed 1 pass for 25 yards. Gillespie now in as the running back. 3rd and 10. Finley, incomplete. Couldn't connect with Stephon Lewis. Coverage from Mullen.
I think the reason there was no penalty is because Lewis slipped and fell down. I don't think it was because he was pushed by the defender. I think he slipped coming back to the football, and that's why there was no flag.
So on comes Carson Wise. This will be a 34-yard attempt. 6 of 11 on the year.
Pulled it.
So NC State unable to answer after Clemson came down and was successful with their field goal attempt. Well, timely Aflac trivia question. We asked who is the lowest ranked team in the initial college football playoff rankings to make the playoff, and the answer is Ohio State. Remember, Ohio State, when they first came out with the rankings, had a 16 next to their name in 2014. Went on, of course, for that magical run to win the national championship. Minute 42 remaining with Bryant and Clemson back on offense. And, of course, this year we just saw the first release of the college football playoff rankings. And this is what happened in the past. I think some of the teams that were in the mix compared to who finished on top.
Well, the point being that first one, just don't make your plane reservations or your hotel reservation based on the first one.
Thompson with the reception.
So right now, Clemson with 2 timeouts. You want to see if you can get that first down when you're in a 2-minute situation. Clock at 1:30. They got the 2 timeouts and they got that initial first down. So look to see if Clemson now tries to pick up the pace and see if they can get some points here before they head to the locker room.
Bryant and Renfro finding some space there to the 36.
So far, one of the things that North Carolina State has done well defensively in this game is not giving up the big explosive play over top of their heads.
Here's Kane, wrestled out, enough for a first down. Of course, Capital One halftime report still to come here on ABC. Kevin Mack and Booger will be with you in the studio. Going to get you up to speed on everything that's going on. Bedlam in the mix, Michigan State, Penn State, and of course so much to come later tonight, especially right here on ABC with Miami and Virginia Tech.
Ray McLeod has drawn a couple pass interference penalties working on this cornerback, Mike Stevens.
Here's Bryant with another minute to play. That was batted, but yet caught by Renfro.
Maybe would have been better had he not caught it, because they either have to hurry up or use a timeout here because the clock is running. If that ball hits the ground incomplete, they don't have to go quite so fast.
2 timeouts still in the bag for Clemson. To the sideline, a little more helpful stepping out is Deion Kane. I'm going to mark that. It appears short. Let's see where he puts that ball down.
See, that's got to be the receiver, though. He has to know what he needs for the first down and get beyond that mark. We saw Renfro do that earlier, and Kane has not done it twice, even though he's made 2 good catches on the sideline. It's a waste of a play here for
and
third
it leaves
down.
him a 3rd and 1, and now a flag comes in as T. Higgins was the target. Jonathan Alston was on coverage, so that'll have 32 seconds remaining, and what should be a first down here.
Defensive pass interference, number 5. The ball will be placed at the spot of the foul. Automatic first down.
And it is with the PI.
Well, Alston, you can see the left hand on the jersey, and he tugs the jersey. That tug is what got the call.
NC State with 4 penalties today, all on their defense.
But again, the longest play allowed by this defense has been 18 yards. They've been able to make everything get thrown and caught underneath so far.
There's Thompson, and he's wrestled down short of the 30. You got to use a timeout here as the clock winds down.
Timeout. Clemson. Second charge of the half.
I think you got to go back to Ray McLeod and see if he can run by a guy or even draw the penalty.
30-second timeout.
Just the start of a big day on ABC. We got number 13 Virginia Tech and number 10 7-0 Miami tonight. It's going to be a good one, of course. Miami has never clinched the Coastal Division, a chance to do so. Quarterback matchup. Josh Jackson for Virginia Tech has been the most productive freshman quarterback in the nation. Leads all freshmen in completions and passing yards. He has 17 touchdown passes on the year. I think that's going to be a great one with Chris and Kirk and Maria. Virginia Tech and Miami.
Kelly Bryant has hit his last 6 passes now in the ball game. Started very slowly. He's right up a little bit over 50% completion now.
And dynamite on this drive of trying to get something right at the end. 6 of 7. The junior from Calhoun Falls, South Carolina. 2nd and 3. 1 timeout remains. Broken up as McLeod went up for it.
Good job by the safety coming to help the corner. The corner is beat a little bit. Jonathan Alston is beat a little bit, but the safety, Jarius Moorhead, came over and helped out. Watch the end of this play as Moorhead gets there right as the ball arrives and knocks it loose.
You have Kane and Renfro on the bottom of your screen there on 3rd and 3. As Kane says, look at me. And he does. And he taps and is out. "15 seconds remain."
I think you got to try a shot towards the end zone, but not the fade route. Something breaking back towards the middle of the field. Got a wide open middle of the field right now. And North Carolina State wants to call deep timeout. I think it's a good call.
I do too. Just gather yourself a bit.
30-second timeout.
As Alex Spence awaits. I'll tell you, Todd, you sit back and you watch Clemson. I know last week's game was in the rain there, but what a difference it makes when Kelly Bryant is healthy, huh?
Yeah, well, you know, he's a dual threat guy. He's a big guy, he's a fast quarterback, and he gives you that threat, especially in this part of the field as a runner. But I think he's settled down, he's settled into the game. And Ryan Finley on the other side has had about as good as a first half as you could have in a game of this magnitude.
Folks, he started 15 for 15. Here's all you need to know this day in the ACC. We're going to get it started here. Mathematics said the winner of this almost assuredly will be in the ACC championship game. And, of course, Miami looking to clinch things and get a spot there and win their division as well against Virginia Tech.
That's a
Fun
great day. Great day. And in Wake Forest is at Notre Dame. That's a tricky game for Notre Dame coming off the big win over North Carolina State a week ago. So a good day for the conference, for sure.
Speaking of Notre Dame, it's a nice bounce back by NC State. And they're playing this first half with purpose. Looking for a hold here. A little stop with 15 seconds remaining, but that guy's been on the go. Kelly Bryant. As Renfro comes over to the top of your screen.
Again, middle of the field is where I think you want to work here if you're Clemson. Split safety look, and they got to call timeout. Boy, is that a waste of a timeout. North Carolina State called timeout.
Timeout.
Clemson had time to get their play call on what they wanted, and then they let the play clock go down. That is not good clock management by Clemson here at the end of the half. You should have been able, in your timeout, or the timeout that North Carolina State called, to get exactly what you wanted. And obviously they didn't.
Taco Bell's a proud partner of the college football playoff. We're always on the lookout for the Taco Bell student sections. We've got a good one here. And Raleigh, NC State, boy, they'd love to grab this one. Clemson has won 12 of the last 13 against NC State.
The reason that timeout using right there was so critical is because now if you come up short, you either have to kill the clock or you got to get the ball out of bounds. 15 seconds left. You can't have a negative play here.
Bryant to the end zone. Beyond Higgins, 9 seconds remain.
I think the North Carolina State corners are doing a pretty good job on those routes on the sideline. Where I think they might be vulnerable is something that would break back towards the middle to the post area from an inside receiver. 9 seconds, you got a chance maybe for 2 shots at it here. And you are in field goal range regardless.
Spence already made his first field goal attempt today. Bryant going to extend the play now. The clock is ticking down. 3, 2, and into the stands with 2 seconds remaining. And because of trying to extend the play, it cost them maybe a little more than they anticipated as Roseboro was pursuing, and now Alex Spence comes out there. Remember that Syracuse game? Spence had 2 misses, and it was a 3-point loss. And they were under 40 yards up in the dome, but made from 26 earlier. This from 39.
Dabo said he's been really solid ever since that Syracuse game. Has fought off competition on a daily basis.
North Carolina State, second charge of the half, 30-second timeout.
Well, there is Will Sweeney, Dabo's son, the freshman, who's the holder. He's the first son of a Clemson head coach to be out there playing ball for the Tigers since the early 60s. Holly?
Well, Dabo Sweeney actually wanted to redshirt his son this season, but they saw a need, and he's actually the best holder on the team. He's been holding since he was in 7th grade. He doesn't feel any pressure doing it. And Dabo said, geez, he was the best guy we had. We just had to put him out there.
Yeah, Holly asked Dabo on our conference call, tell us about your holder. He says, well, first thing, he's got a really good-looking mom. And then he went on to tell us about his prowess as a holder. Big situation here right before the end of the half on a 39-yard attempt.
And I think Kathleen Sweeney would agree that he's a heck of a holder. Let's see how he does here. An opportunity for Spence.
Used another timeout right before the snap. Dave Doran doesn't want to burn him.
Timeout, North Carolina State. That is their third and final timeout of the half.
Remember what happened last year when these two played? It was a thriller. And it came down to Kyle Bamberg, who missed a 33-yarder as time expired for NC State. So they went to overtime. And a guy who's pretty good, of course, was playing quarterback for the Tigers, Deshaun Watson. The touchdown and then the interception by Edmonds. Missed opportunity for NC State. Clemson went up and down the field, but turned the ball over 3 times in the red zone. So overtime it was. The missed field goal is how they arrived there. Of course, everybody wishes the best for Deshaun Watson. The injury this week. 2 seconds remaining here. They took over at their own 20 with 1:42 left in the half. 11-play drive to get into field goal range to try to cut this to a 1-point game. 39-yard attempt for Spence out of the hold of Will Sweeney, coach's son. It never had a chance.
That is the end of the first half.
Snap is good. Hold is good. Kick is not good. And North Carolina State will get the ball to start the third quarter at the end of this halftime.
Capital One halftime report is next. After this message and a word from our ABC stations.
When we leave that field, I don't care how you feel, every ounce, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically, is left on that turf.
A little bit of pressure coming off the edge as Bryant is intercepted. What a way to start the day for the Wolfpack. Straight up the middle, Finley gets rid of it, downfield, wide open, into the end zone, Kelvin Harmon. New Jersey, same old speed. Ray McLeod, how about it? Tigers roar. Samuels the direct snap, up and reaching in for the touchdown. Bryant straight ahead and in. What a fun start to a big day of the ACC on ESPN. Joe Tessitore, Todd Blackledge, Holly Rowe with you. Number 4 team in the country is trailing here at the half, and NC State will get the ball to start this second half. Todd, I'll tell you, the NC State offensive line, they have not allowed a sack of their quarterback, Ryan Finley, in an ACC game this year. And they're going up against this Clemson defensive line that leads the nation in sacks.
Right. Well, I think the very first third down play, Clemson came after Ryan Finley. They pressured him, but he threw the touchdown pass. And then the mix of run and pass. They've run it 19 times. They've thrown it 18 times. That band of brothers, that offensive line, no turnovers, no sacks. Very efficient first half for the North Carolina State offense.
Yeah, Finley started off so red hot as well. 15 for 15 completions to start his afternoon. So here we go again. So much on the line. And complete to Myers. Moments ago, Holly Rowe with Dabo.
Well, Coach, you've been able to move the ball up and down the field, but what do you have to do to finish a little better in the red zone?
Well, we missed that kick, but they missed one too. We just got hit on a couple plays. I felt like we've gotten behind them a couple times and had a chance at T right there. We're just a little off, but hey, it's championship football. This is what it's all about. It's a great team, great environment. We just got to make a few more plays, and we got to get some stops. You know, right now it's kind of the story of the offenses. Both offenses are moving the ball. Unfortunate we had a turnover, game of short field, but we got a long way to go. Just got to keep playing Clemson football and hang in there.
Thanks, Coach.
Both offenses moving the ball as NC State with a first down to open things up here.
North Carolina State with more to show for their offense, more chunk plays than Clemson. You know, the good thing for North Carolina State, too, is they were pretty much able to rest Nyheim Hines in that first half. Only 4 carries. Jalen Samuels did most of the running.
Christian Wilkins was coming up the middle. And to the outside, that was dangerous as that was defended by Ryan Carter. He had coverage on Stephon Lewis.
Ryan Carter out of Grayson, Georgia. He's played a lot of ball here. He's been a very consistent cover guy for this Clemson defense.
You know, he went to high school with Robert Kimdichie, the former #1 overall recruit in the country. Remember, Kimdichie was originally committed to Clemson. There was a lot of criticism of the pursuit of Carter, saying he was a throw-in. You're just trying to get Kimdichie. This kid has blossomed throughout his career. He left that tag behind. Second and 10. Inside wide receiver screen got blown up that time. Jalen Samuels had no chance as they were coming after him. Trey Lamar and company. 4-yard loss. O'Daniel also in.
Yeah, Darian O'Daniel was the first guy there. Jalen Samuels got bent kind of funny at the end of this play. Had to go up in the air and then Just the tackle over the top by Trey Lamar. Kind of an awkward position there for Jalen Samuels at the end of that play.
He got crunched and is recently named the first team midseason All-American by so many media outlets. He has 43 career touchdowns as he has been rewriting the NC State record books. Has a catch in 37 consecutive games. They're going to need him out there. We'll check on him when we return. Unfortunately, with Samuels able to get up, we're going to be able to stay here. And that's a good sign as he walks off under his own power.
Well, you've already got Nyheim Hines, who coming into the game off the ankle injury a week ago. And Jalen Samuels very slow getting off the field. It looks like his back maybe is what's bothering him. The end of that play. Again, he got bent kind of an awkward way on the end of that play.
It's going to leave him with a 3rd and 14.
I think if you're Ryan Finley right now, you got to be very smart with the football. Clemson looking for a play to get themselves excited, and they're looking to their defense to do it. 3rd and 14.
On the inside, Wilkins, and then Farrell on the outside. 3rd and 14. Finley. Myers. Did he haul it in? Yes. What a play by Jacoby Myers.
Ryan Finley put this ball in the only spot it could be, and he reached right over the head of Ryan Carter to snatch the ball. Does he have catch and a foot in bounds? They're going to snap it real fast, but they're going to stop it, and rightfully so. They should be able to take a look at this.
The ruling on the field of a completed catch is under further review.
It was an incredible effort as he was grasping the end of the ball with his fingertip.
Does he control the catch and at the same time get 1 foot in bounds? Bobbling it a little bit there. I don't know that he had control of that. Bill LeMonnier, you got to look at it. What do you see there?
That's a tough view, the one we just saw there. And you hit it on the head. He's got to show the control of the football. He's got to get a foot down in bounds. He's got to maintain control of the football. And right there with that foot hitting, we really kind of need a shot from the opposite side to see if he's got firm control of the ball. This will be a challenge for the replay official. I don't believe he's got control of the football.
It was ruled a catch on the field. So they need strong evidence to overturn that.
There's movement of that ball as he's falling out of bounds. I don't think his hands have full control.
Remember, the ruling on the field is that it is a catch, so they have to have the video evidence that says otherwise.
What an effort, though. I mean, that was an incredible effort by Jacoby Myers, reaching over Ryan Carter to try to make that catch.
And to be securing the ball only with your fingertips for a moment there, and then using your helmet, and then your body being forced out with the defender's momentum, tiptoe the sideline.
That's a guy stepping up to make a play. You see your leader, Jalen Samuels, go out after getting shaken up on a play. Somebody else has to step up and make a play, and Jacoby Myers hoping that this is going to stand for his 7th catch of the ball game.
Well, it's Andrew Panucci, the ACC replay official. Bill LeMonnier, who spent 3 decades worth of time in the Big Ten, says you would overrule this, Bill, according to what we're hearing from you. Here's another look. Bill, does this help you anymore for the video evidence?
No control at this point. Still, I would say that's not control. Foot's down. I say it's an incomplete pass.
There's a moment there where you can actually see the ball turn and go on top of the back of his right hand. It goes from his hands up to then his left hand forcing the ball over to the back of his right hand. That's where you say he lacks control in the process.
I say he lacks control in the process. Now, the thing I'm watching for here, too, is the official that's with the referee. He's got that card out. If he starts writing something down, that's because they're going back to the previous spot.
After review, the receiver didn't complete the catch process. It's incomplete. 4th down at the 35-yard line.
Good job, Billy. LeMonnier said no. Johnson and Panucci said no. Remember, a catch is defined. You have to establish firm control and maintain possession through the process being completed.
Take nothing away from the effort by Jacoby Myers. That was an incredible effort and a beautiful throw by Ryan Finley on 3rd down and 14. But they have to punt the football.
Ray McLeod had a 77-yard return for a touchdown earlier on an A.J. Cole effort.
Directional kick this time, Joe.
That's a smart move, and it takes a beautiful bounce out. Get it away from Ray McLeod. A.J. Cole did just that. Kelly Bryant, 4th-ranked team in the country, needs a little something. Glad you're with us for ABC College Football presented by K Jewelers here in Raleigh, where last night we had amazing barbecue from one of the true leaders of our production group, Larry Clairfault. There's his family, his wife Kristen, daughter Leah. They hosted the entire ESPN ABC team at their house last night.
Beautiful home, beautiful weather, Bullock's barbecue. Made to order, man. What a night.
That was so nice of them. Clemson with Feaster back to business. College football playoff top 25 rankings will come your way Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern on ESPN. Reese and the guys will break it down. The new rankings, of course, Clemson right now number 4. Oklahoma's on top of Oklahoma State, and Ohio State's in a hole right now. Who knows what will be revealed come Tuesday night?
Dabo told Holly their offense has moved the ball, but no big plays. 18 yards, the biggest play so far, a run by Kelly Bryant.
Kelly Bryant on the go here as he was taken down by Street. You know, through the years, the first rankings, I mean, it's been curious to see how things play out. Remember the very first rankings, we had Mississippi State, number 1. It doesn't always play out, folks. Ohio State was 16. Oklahoma was 15 one year on the first rankings. Somebody's out there right now that's going to make the show, going to be playing in either the Rose or the Sugar on New Year's Day that you're not seeing or you're not talking about right now.
Backup right guard in for Clemson right now, the last 2 plays.
3rd and 4, they're getting after him, but he gets rid of it. Richard, first down from Bryant, and a whole lot more. Herschel Walker's nephew with a big play.
Boy, what a nice read by Kelly Bryant. Knowing the blitz is coming, he gets rid of it to his hot receiver, Mylan Richard, and knows he's going to take a hit. 29 yards, and now that is the biggest play of the game for this Clemson offense.
Bryant, quick throw to the outside. Deion Kane is taken down. Cassidy, what's going on with Bedlam?
Oh, it is full-on crazy town right now. Rodney Anderson here with a 14-yard score. We have 628 yards of offense through 22 minutes. It's 35-24 Oklahoma for now, guys. Joe, Todd, Holly, back to you.
Thank you. Baker Mayfield over 300 yards passing and 3 passing touchdowns already today. Tripped up at midfield by Bradley Chubb. Don't go grabbing a towel, my friend.
Just make your play and go back to your huddle. Nice play by Chubb. Bradley Chubb in a stand-up position. They tried to cut block him, but he was too quick getting to the end.
You missed it earlier. The All-American defensive end 3 times stole the towel of quarterback Kelly Bryant, then was admonished by the officials.
North Carolina State showing a corner blitz. That's drawing a change in the play from Clemson. They were showing a blitz right here. Let's see if they stay with it or not.
3rd and 5. Quarterback run. Can't get there. E.J. Hill hitting Kelly Bryant from behind there. Remember, there have been 4th down shots here in spots like this. They may not hesitate at all.
No, they're going for it. Again, you've got a quarterback who runs the football a lot. You pick up an extra blocker if he does run. The risk you run is if they get a stop here in North Carolina State, you lose the field position battle here early in the 3rd quarter.
And they bring in the true freshman, Travis Etienne, to be flanking Kelly Bryant on 4th and a long one. Quick kick. Going to punt it away.
I like it.
And it's going to work out really well. Look at this downfield. Couldn't be better for Clemson.
Wow.
Inside the 1. Excellent work by Bryant.
I really thought Dabo might punt that football because of the field position. What a brilliant call that was.
College football on ABC, presented by K Jewelers, is brought to you by Kia Motors. Visit kia.com to learn more. And Taco Bell's new crispy chicken quesadilla, a deliciously unexpected pairing.
Awesome look through our progressive pylon cam. Saw Kelly Bryant's touchdown run earlier. Kane came flying in, and the cam took a shoe full. That was a great punt moments ago, Todd.
Right now, after that great decision by Dabo Swinney, what North Carolina State has to be concerned about is first and foremost the snap. Getting an accurate snap. If you go under the center and try to sneak it out of here, make sure you have a good snap first.
He's going to go with a quarterback sneak, try to create a little bit of breathing room. He gets 1.5 yards.
Right now you're thinking field position. Your team has a 4-point lead. You want to get the ball away from your goal line. And if you have to punt, you have to punt. Clemson hoping to give their offense a short field if they can get a 3-and-out here.
Veteran Hines in the backfield. And Hines goes ahead for just 1 yard. Holly?
Well, help is on the way. Jalen Samuels was examined for an upper body injury, but he is trotting back out onto the field right now. It looks like they put a little extra padding up top and taped his right shoulder. Also important for Clemson, their second leading tackler, linebacker Kendall Joseph, jogged to the locker room before the half. He's come back out with a very heavily taped right knee. He is a little bit limited in his mobility, but he's trying the best he can right now.
Well, this is a big opportunity for the Clemson defense. Can they cash in with the field position? 3rd and 7.
You throw something here, throw it towards the sideline.
Finley. He does just that, but it's incomplete. So they will be punting out of their own end zone.
Ball kind of sailed on Ryan Finley. Aware of where he was on the field, over the head of Jalen Samuels.
And remember, A.J. Cole, he's gotten off good punts, 57 yards and 55, but he needs to be directional because sitting back there is the guy who took it back 77 yards for a spectacular touchdown. And Cole gets another good one. Driving McLeod all the way back to the 40, nearly slipped there, then gets his footing and crosses midfield. So Clemson in good field position, trailing by 4 when we return. Pacific Life game summary here in Raleigh as the number 4 team in the country trails in the second half because Ryan Finley has had himself a great day. But Ray McLeod made for some thrills. The 77-yard punt return touchdown. Back and forth they've gone. Mid-season All-American Jay Sam. Couple of touchdowns for the Wolfpack, but now prime field position for Clemson. Etienne trying to wiggle his way, and he does so with good work that time. A gain of 6.
Yeah, that quick kick was so well timed and so well executed by Clemson. An exchange or a pickup of 41 yards by Clemson in that exchange of possession. They went from their own 10 to now the North Carolina State 49 to start this one. Prime real estate now for Clemson.
McLeod, jet look. Instead, it's Bryant downfield. Open for a moment was Kane.
Kane came out of his shoe. He was open. Dabo told Holly, we've had some guys open, and we just haven't hit the plays. This is another one of those. This could have been a touchdown. Kane has separation. You got to get the football to him. There's no defender. Kelly Bryant has been short on a deep throw, and that time he was off the mark. And those are opportunities you can't let slip by.
Well, the orange shoe is on the turf. You know, 50 years ago was the famed orange shoe game between these two. 50th anniversary of that game. And Clemson brought out the orange shoes against NC State. Bryant on 3rd and 4. Incomplete. You know, in 1967, there was a tradition here at NC State. They were having success wearing white shoes. So Clemson said, hey, we're going to do you one better.
Yeah.
We're going to come out with the orange kicks. They were able to get the job done then. And right now, a tight tie for the speedy Deion Kane.
That game, North Carolina State was the higher ranked team. Clemson able to get the win.
And I'll tell you, they just squandered great field
sure
position.
Did. And they had a chance for a touchdown play.
With a fair catch at the 10-yard line by Locklear. All-State is proud to be part of the team that comes together to do good by contributing to participating universities' general scholarship funds for each field goal and extra point kick. To date, All-State has contributed millions in scholarship funds. 21-17, NC State against number 4 Clemson, a Clemson team that has won 8 straight games over ranked opponents. That's the most in the country. Sitting there in that lofty perch.
How about this for this offensive line? 145 drop back snaps for North Carolina State and 0 sacks in ACC play.
Protecting their man Ryan Finley. And they do so again as Finley goes downfield. Wide open was Kelvin Harmon. We got a chance to check in with Cassidy.
Thanks, guys. And after a 3.5-hour weather delay, number 24 Michigan State and number 7 Penn State back playing, and L.J. Scott's 3-yard TD run put Sparty up 21-14 in the third. Joe Todd, Holly, back to you.
Now, Saquon Barkley was held to a season-low 44 yards rushing last week against Ohio State. Only 39 yards rushing right now against Michigan State.
Well, we talked of missed opportunities for Clemson. That was a missed opportunity by Ryan Finley. Big time. 2nd and 10 now.
Almost intercepted. Ryan Carter was breaking on that ball.
See, they ran the slant that time, but the play before they ran the slant and go because these corners have been jumping on the slant. Watch, he has him frozen. This is a touchdown if he gets the ball on the spot. When you have a guy running wide open, don't try to lead him. Try to throw it right at his head and let him make the catch.
And after that great start by Ryan Finley, he is now just one of his last 6. Opened up 15 for 15. 3rd and 10.
Clemson content to play field position right here.
He was trying to find Samuels on a wheel route. And it'll be 4th down.
Really good coverage by Dorian O'Daniel. He's listed as the Sam linebacker. He's 6'1", 220, so he's kind of a hybrid safety type. 2nd straight 3 and out now for the North Carolina State offense, but not without opportunities to make a big play.
A.J. Cole's top 15 in the country in punting average and one of the most dangerous guys of all. Back to return. And once again, it'll be a midfield starting position for Clemson. When we come back, still trailing by 4 is number 4.
The game, Clemson offense averaging 6 yards per play, but tonight only 4.4 because of some missed opportunities for big plays. You never know when they're going to come. That was in the first half, an underthrown ball, and then moments ago, with great field position, another missed opportunity on an errant throw by Kelly Bryant. You just don't know how many of those shots you get in a game like this, and so far, Clemson hasn't hit on one.
ETN hitting that crease on the right side. NC State has lost 7 straight to top 10 ranked teams. So much on the line considering the Atlantic Division. And consider mathematically the winner of this game is just about a lock to play in the ACC championship game. And then for Clemson trying to stay alive for the college football playoff. 2nd and 6. Bryant took a hit as he threw, and it's incomplete beyond Overton. Holly?
Something very interesting is going on with Clemson's offensive line. 5 straight offensive possessions. They have rotated their guys up front, particularly on the right side, the guard and tackle. The only 2 guys who've been in every one of the last 5 possessions, the center and the left tackle. I've never seen people rotate offensive linemen this much, trying to keep their guys fresh against this really good defensive front.
Pretty smart, playing it into a fourth quarter game. Defenses do it all the time.
3rd and 6. Pressure on Bryant, backing up, staying alive. Gets rid of it, complete for a first down. Deon Cain.
Really nice poise by Kelly Bryant. Here comes the pressure. They brought an extra man. It was a safety blitz. Tim Kick-Glass is the guy that forced Bryant out of the pocket. But he kept his eyes downfield and delivered a perfect throw for the first down. 7
yards on 3rd and 6, but he seemingly floated about 20 yards back. That was Cain's 4th catch on 3rd down. As Bryant off the jet motion will just keep it and go straight ahead to the 32.
You just feel like they have to take advantage of this field position here sooner or later. This is their 3rd possession, starting in North Carolina State territory. They've got to come away with something to show for it.
2nd and 5. Bryant, quick out and into the hands of Cain. We'll have another first down at the 20-yard line. This feels like the drive for Clemson. Will it be the drive for Clemson to retake the lead? Quick throw. Rogers kept his balance and then gets to the 15-yard line. Amari Rogers, good-looking true freshman, the son of T. Martin, the USC offensive coordinator. Of course, we will see USC in action later tonight against Arizona.
Holly mentioned those changes up front. Everybody is back in as the starter except the left guard is the backup. John Simpson is in now at left guard. The other 4 guys started the game.
Bryant on 2nd and 5, looking to bounce it, gets to the corner, has the first down, and it'll be 1st and goal, Tigers.
Nice block by Justin Falcinelli, the center. Watch him pull out and block Bradley Chubb, number 50. Gets him inside, and then Kelly Bryant is able to elude the safety, Tim Kick-Glass, but the center, a difficult block to pull out there and block a player the caliber of Bradley Chubb.
Option, ETN. Touchdown, Clemson. Flag is down at the 6. Let's check on that.
Personal foul. Chop block. Number 55, number 73. 15-yard penalty. Still first down.
Yeah, it happened right over the center. The center was engaged with the defender right here and watched the right guard, Tyrone Crowder, come into the legs. He disengaged pretty quickly, but at the point of the impact, the center was engaged and the guard came down, and that's what drew the flag. A costly penalty on this Clemson offense.
Remember, it was 1st and goal, so it wipes out the touchdown, brings the ball back to the 21. It is 1st and goal from there. Bryant trying to get to the corner, and he's wrestled down by Moorhead.
We got a good amount of that yardage back. See the speed of Kelly Bryant. He's a legitimate 4.4 something. It's pretty impressive for a guy that size, 6'4", 220 pounds. Haven't heard from Hunter Renfro for a while. Slot receiver to the top of the screen.
Only 3 catches for 17 yards today. The fade. The score. Great effort from Cain. And Clemson is back on top.
Really nice use of the splits by Deon Cain. He's going to take the split all the way into the hash mark, which gives him a lot of field to separate from the defender to the outside, working on Jonathan Alston. That's just too much room out there. The narrow split gave Kane a lot of field, and Kelly Bryant hit him with the football.
Progressive pylon cam with a great look at that. Kane wanted to make sure, so stretch that arm out after the fact. Spence puts it through.
A nice recovery by Clemson after the touchdown, taken off the board because of the penalty. They come right back in 2 plays and get the score anyway.
Remember, we talked about having to take advantage of the field position there.
Absolutely.
Finally, they did. 2 times they started off at midfield. Well, Sunday NFL Countdown's coming your way at 10 a.m. Eastern. In the wake of the Patriots trading Jimmy Garoppolo to the Niners, we're going to hear from some of Tom Brady's backups, some of the stories through the years, plus how Carson Wentz went from a hometown hero at North Dakota State to an MVP contender with the Eagles. He has been special. And in Monday Night Football, NFC North rivalry, Lions and Packers, and Monday Night Countdown kicks off our coverage at 6 Eastern on ESPN. Of course, the big story in the NFL this week is Clemson legend Deshaun Watson, who was having as good of a year as you could ever have, the torn ACL. Hey, Todd, he's been through it before, and he's shown what he's made of.
That's what Dabo told him. You know, it happened to him as a freshman at Clemson, the other knee, but he came back from that and had a spectacular career. Played in back-to-back championship games, won it last year. Dabo just said, hey, you've been there, you know what it takes, and you can do it again.
Samuels from the goal line. And he has met good coverage inside the 20. Let's check in with Cassidy.
All right, Joe, let's go back to Bedlam and Justice Hill with a 30-yard TD run, his second score of the game. He also has 132 first half yards. It's 38-38 still in the second quarter. Now at half, guys.
That sounds like Bedlam. 38-38 at the half. Mayfield with 3 passing touchdowns. Mason Rudolph with 3 passing touchdowns. Back and forth they go.
I think this is a really important drive for North Carolina State's offense. 3rd time inside their own 20, but they're not by their own goal line.
Here's Hines hitting that hole with purpose for 3 yards.
Clemson has taken a lead. They had the field position edge the entire 3rd quarter. This is a possession. Even if North Carolina State does not score, they have to shorten the field a little bit. They've got to make a couple first downs and flip the field.
They have been pinned for the better part of this 3rd quarter. Kelly Bryant, remember, had a quick kick punt to do that. 2nd and 7 now as they go with the option, the RPO with the 3rd part being Myers, but he has tackled that time by Carter. That is a loss of 1.
This is a team that thrives on negative plays, sacks, and tackles for loss. They have not been able to sack Ryan Finley, but they've had a few tackle for loss plays and get this team, that's North Carolina State offense, behind the chains a little bit.
Remember, they average 4 sacks a game, best in the country. This offensive line has protected Finley. What do they have on 3rd and 8?
2-man rush.
Finley with time again, and with the completion, and keeping his balance is Myers, weaving his way out past the 40.
Now, this is not supposed to happen if you're Brent Venables. You're rushing 2 guys, so you're dropping 9 into coverage. It's a zone defense, and Ryan Finley still finds an open receiver in a hole and then a missed tackle. And North Carolina State, 23 yards on that 3rd and 8 play.
It's a pass now on 1st down. Downfield and beyond Harmon. Check in with Cassidy again.
And Joe, number 6, Ohio State in some trouble at Iowa. Nathan Stanley to TJ Hawkinson. 2nd time these two have connected. It's now 38-17 Iowa in the 3rd over on ESPN. Joe, Todd, Holly.
Well, a little bit of a hangover effect there, Todd. After last week, all the drama in the 4th quarter.
Emotional win over Penn State. Great victory for the Buckeyes. And Iowa playing well at home.
2nd and 10. They go with the quick throw out to Locklear. He's out to midfield. It'll leave 3rd and short.
But see, they've done what they needed to do, Joe. They've flipped the field now. So even if they come up short on this possession and they have to punt the football, they have a chance to pin Clemson back in their territory and change it around here as we near the fourth quarter. Obviously, you want to convert here and have a chance to score, but you've accomplished one thing, which is flipping the field.
Jalen Samuels in the backfield here, as he's going to take the direct snap now on 3rd and 2 as Finley splits out. Samuels not going to get it. Maybe a half yard. Cleveland Farrell with a really nice play defensively.
Farrell also, and then watch Wilkins. He's going to come in here as well. Wilkins, number 42, working on the left guard. Teron Prescott. This defensive line is the strength of this team. They don't have the depth that they had a year ago, but that starting front four is really good.
Well, you mentioned it. Breathing room, flip the field, and on 4th and short, even with the reaction from the crowd, they will gladly send A.J. Cole out there. He will look to pin Hunter Renfrow, who's going to put his heels right there on the 10. And they do flip field position. Well, we have focused a good bit on Bradley Chubb today, the All-American defensive end for NC State. Interesting family tree. Dad played at Georgia, was a good one back in the late 80s. Older brother Brandon was at Wake and then the NFL with Detroit. And then you know all about the last name from the historically famous Chubbtown, so he is a cousin to Georgia star Nick Chubb. Chubbtown, well featured, dates back to 1864, established by one of Nick and Bradley's relatives, Isaac Chubb. If you ever get the chance to see that story, go to ESPN.com and realize what a great piece of American history that is. Feaster breaking free. They're going to have to track him down. Tavian Feaster, how about it? 89-yard touchdown. If that isn't the ultimate ending to a quarter by Clemson, I don't know what is. Zeros hit on the clock. What a way to say we're ready for the fourth. Clemson explodes.
That is the end of the third quarter, however, it will be extended for the extra point.
The longest play from scrimmage this year for Clemson.
The entire game, North Carolina State's defense has had their run fits correct until this play. They pin them back down, and watch what happens when you miss a fit. This linebacker fills here. This guy's got to come here. He gets caught inside, and Feaster makes him pay. There's an open gap, and the speed takes over after that.
College football presented by K Jewelers will continue after this message and a word from our ABC stations. We welcome you back. ABC College Football presented by K Jewelers. What a day it has been here at Carter-Finley Stadium. Number 4 team in the country has been tested all day by 20th ranked NC State until moments ago when all of a sudden they hit the gas pedal. And now Clemson leads 31-21. It was 21-14 in the second quarter and 17 unanswered points by the reigning champs. That is an ugly looking kickoff that time. It was mishit.
Well, I tell you, the play that turned it all around for Clemson in this 17-point run was on 4th and 1 when they went for the quick kick. Kelly Bryant, perfect execution. Hunter Renfrow down there to down it by the 1-yard line. North Carolina State unable to get away from their own end zone for a couple possessions, and that just really gave some momentum to this Clemson offense, and next thing you know, they're up 10. But that play in flipping the field position set it up for the Tigers.
There's a second kickoff that went out of bounds for Clemson. It's in a good field position to start this drive for NC State, as Finley will have Hines in the backfield with him. He was concerned, would he be able to go today? Ankle injury against Notre Dame. Let's get an update on some things with Holly.
Well, guys, Christian Wilkham, the great defensive tackle for Clemson, is just hysterical over on the sideline here. He's bouncing around. He's the first one out to congratulate guys after touchdowns. He's everywhere. Well, he just had to take himself out for a minute and get oxygen on the sideline. He's not out there right now, but the funniest thing ever was he's too excited over here chatting, talking, laughing it up with everybody to actually put the oxygen mask on his face. So he couldn't even calm down to really get a breath.
I mean, he is one of the great characters in the game. 2nd and 7. Finley. Strike over the middle is complete to Harmon, and he's free. Kelvin Harmon inside the 20, carrying defenders with him. What a play by Harmon.
Well, these receivers for North Carolina State are big and physical. There's a flag down the field.
It stands as a 47-yard reception for now. That flag is well downfield.
The ruling on the field is a catch, and during the run, illegal block in the back by the offense. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. First down.
That's going to take a big chunk of this away, Todd.
Not sure who they're going to call the penalty on, but a tremendous effort by Harmon after the catch, showing you his strength. Now there's the block right there. That's what added about 15 more yards to the play. Block coming right here on Ryan Carter. Stephon Lewis, the guilty party. But still a big completion and excellent field position for North Carolina State here early in the fourth quarter. Have to capitalize, have to get this back to a one possession or a one score game. Both coaches knew it was going to be a fourth quarter game. It has been the last couple years. Got to keep it close.
Finley gets it complete to the 30 to Harmon. So back-to-back plays from Kelvin Harmon.
It's interesting because of how good Clemson has been defensively and Florida State historically, and the way they play defensive coverage and man-to-man and get their hands on you, it's changed how North Carolina State is recruiting wide receivers. They're going to bigger, stronger bodies than they used to.
2nd and 1 on the slant, complete to Stephon Lewis. And Brent Venables and his get-back coach, Adam Smotherman, are going to have to come up with something here because NC State's offense has found their gear. A great feature on game day today on Smotherman. Here's Hines, first down run, patient, and then makes his way to the 15.
Mention those big-bodied receivers. They're not so much as interested in the guys that have the great separation speed, although you obviously want speed at that position, but having the size and the strength to win contested battles for football. That's what they're looking for. And in the red zone, this part of the field, that becomes even more of a paramount thing.
2nd and 7, fakes the pitch. Finley, nice and easy and into the hands of Myers. Great response by NC State. That guy, Jacoby Myers, has been key today. 9 catches. This, the biggest so far, to close into it against the 4th-ranked team.
Cassidy Hubbard with your studio update. Busy afternoon and includes a game that kicked at noon because of a weather delay. Trace McSorley to DeAndre Tompkins. Wide open, 70-yard TD pass. Sparty responded with a field goal, so it's 24-all in the 4th. Joe, Todd, Holly, back to you.
Now, Cassidy, that's fun there, but is anything more fun than some swag surfing here in Raleigh? I mean, they're going all fast like youngsters on us here, Blackledge. Let's see if Feaster can get a little swag surfing going on the return as he is pushed out. A little something extra at the end of that 16-yard return. Tom, what happened there moments ago?
Just beautiful execution. First of all, this action, which they've shown a couple times, is going to freeze, bring the linebacker with it, and open up the field. They've run the pitch, the quarterback run, and then watch this. The receiver stalk blocks for a second, and then he takes off, and the safety, Tanner Muse, even if he wanted to grab on that play, could not because he's got the big club with the broken hand on his left hand. There's no way for him to reach out and grab the receiver. Perfect execution by the Wolfpack.
Out to the 25-yard line is Etienne, a gain of 5.
Holly mentioned that Clemson doing something highly unusual, subbing their offensive line minutes to get and to be fresh in a game like this in the fourth quarter. North Carolina State has good depth in their defensive front, so they're able to rotate guys. Clemson trying to match that freshness of legs in the trenches when the game's on the line here in the fourth quarter.
Etienne motions out, empty for Bryant here on 2nd and 5. As he will keep it himself. And it's going to be 3rd and short.
3rd and short, but the good news and the good number for Clemson is they are now over 200 yards rushing in the ball game, and when they do that, they are 43-1, and they're sitting at 207 right now.
39 straight wins when they go over 200 yards rushing. They're 4-0 this year, hitting that magical mark. Etienne isn't going to get there. I don't think he even got back to the line of scrimmage. Fernandez with the tackle, and everybody joined in. Jermaine Pratt and company.
Perfect timing by Fernandez on the blitz. Watch the middle linebacker time this perfectly. He's going to hit this gap, and he times the snap. He's unblocked. Actually, it was Jermaine Pratt who came on the blitz. Perfect timing by the North Carolina State linebacker. What a big stop on 3rd and 1.
Spires out to punt. Locklear going to set up shop at the 30. Fair catch at about the 27. NC State's going to have the ball. Just over 10 minutes to play, trailing by 3.
College football on ABC is presented by K Jewelers. K Jewelers, the #1 jewelry store in America. Every kiss begins with K. And in part by Pacific Life. Experience the power of Pacific.
That's the famed Amedio's on Western Boulevard here in Raleigh. It's like an NC State museum in there. Remember, they filmed the 30 for 30, Survive and Advance there. Of course, the DeAngelis family has been doing it right there since 1963. Boy, we got a good one here. Joe Totten-Holly at Carter-Finley, #4 Clemson, being pushed deep. 31-28, they lead for now. It's 17 unanswered points until Ryan Finley and the Wolfpack just roared back. And now they start this drive with 10 minutes to play. Pressure, and he goes down. Clelin Ferrell, big-time NFL prospect with all that speed, was coming after Ryan Finley.
Well, Finley was in good position to get away from the pressure. He just slips. Ferrell is the guy that's going to force him to leave the pocket, but he's got room to get to the edge, and he just slipped. And then fell on the football. So a negative yardage play. It'll go down as a sack for Clemson.
And Todd, that's the first sack that NC State has allowed in ACC play. 157 dropbacks. That's the first one. Intercepted by Carter. Ryan Carter comes up huge.
They've been squatting on the slant routes all night. Ryan Carter, watch. He reads the route. Watch his eyes at the bottom of the screen. His eyes are going to go to the quarterback, and he beats the receiver, Stephon Lewis, to the spot. They've run a lot of slants, and Ryan Carter read the route better than the wide receiver did.
Christian Wilkins Letting Ryan Finley know all about it. He is juiced. Ryan Carter. Big interception with 9.5 minutes to play. And now Clemson is going to start off at the 27 of NC State. Feaster just 2 yards there.
For Ryan Finley, only his second interception of the season.
Isn't it interesting? They had been giving up sacks, give up a sack on one play.
That's right.
He doesn't throw interceptions, just had the one last week against Notre Dame this season. Throws interception on the next play. Back-to-back uncharacteristic plays for the NC State offense. Kelly Bryant not finding much there.
I think this is the play of the game for the North Carolina State defense right here. There's 8:50 and counting left in the game. If they can force a field goal attempt here, they keep it as a one-possession game. Big play right here on third down for the Wolfpack defense after the sudden change situation following the turnover.
3rd and 5. A-gap pressure, both sides of it. Diving effort from McLeod can't go, so it will be 4th down. Clemson offense looks over. Now it's Spence. Placekicker stays put. Out. Well, Todd, you thought that 3rd and 5 was big? How about 4th and 5?
Well, you got to think about Renfro here. He's the guy in motion, number 13.
He has been shut out without a catch in this second half. 4th down for Clemson. Renfro's got it. What an effort. Sprints free. You said it. He delivered.
He's just such a dependable guy. You put him in motion to kind of read the coverage, and then the timing on the out route. Perfect timing by Bryant. Then you see, this is a guy that came to school weighing 150 pounds. He's put on about 30 pounds, and he showed some strength there, breaking the tackle.
First and goal. Kelly Bryant looking to bounce it. Almost picked up a block from Renfro if he could have kept his balance. But what a big play moments ago. 16 yards on 4th and 5.
Sean Boone saved a touchdown right there. Renfro, the guy that got the conversion on 4th down, but I think Kelly Bryant was going to score on that keeper had Sean Boone not tripped him up.
Feaster the lone back here on 2nd and goal.
Not so sure you don't run the quarterback again here.
It's exactly what they do. And he muscles his way down to the 1-yard line as he met Jarius Moorhead. 4-yard gain there. It'll be 3rd and goal. Got some big bodies coming in there with Cannon Smith, Mylan Richard.
Co-offensive coordinators for Clemson, Tony Elliott up in the box. Jeff Scott down on the field. What do they have dialed up here on this 3rd and goal play?
Bryant again. Touchdown with a stiff arm to put a mark on it.
It just makes sense. He's your leading rusher today. He was your leading rusher last week. He's recovered from the ankle injury. Quarterback counter. Let him read it and let him keep the football.
Got rid of Jonathan Alston and responded for Clemson. Those moments, those sequences when games are decided, like Ryan Carter coming up big, the interception of Finley's throw, and then having the guts, Tony Elliott, to call a 4th and 5, and Renfro with a little pull of Kid Glass for 16. And then the big man on campus, bigger than ever, with a 10-point margin.
Kids were laughing in my classes while I was scheming for the...
Clemson has pushed it back to a 10-point game. It is survival time. November college football, and it's time to position yourself for the ACC championship game. Winner of this game will almost assuredly be there. Samuels on the return from the goal line. You know, Hunter Renfrow always seemingly has big moments, Todd.
Yeah, he's a clutch receiver. In the biggest games, he makes the biggest plays. Championship game style. 2 years ago, and then last championship, even on defense, when he turns into a defender, and then this was the game winner last year, and a few moments ago on the biggest play of the game so far, 4th down. He doesn't have the first down at the catch, but he fights through and makes it.
Listen, he even has big moments off the field, like celebrating that his girlfriend, Camilla, was named Clemson's homecoming queen this fall. Everything goes this guy's way. Dabo loves him, the former walk-on.
Yep.
And there she is. Dating royalty, the homecoming queen. I mean, they must be the first couple of Clemson's campus right there. Hunter Renfrow moments ago coming up big. Holly?
Well, you know, it hasn't been easy for Hunter Renfrow. He said he got tonsillitis his senior year in high school. He dropped down to 148 pounds. So when he got to Clemson, he was tiny. He's had to put on 30 pounds. He's had to beat out 5-star recruits, and he's done it to be the royalty they deserve.
Here's Finley on 2nd and 9. He's going to pick up a block, and he'll have the first down for NC State.
NC State right now, as we near the 5-minute mark left in the game, they've got to score twice. So they got to think about scoring now quickly. I think they have to have a little sense of urgency, speed up their tempo a little bit, or their operation, because they've got to score twice. They don't need to score a touchdown on this possession. It could be a field goal, but they got to score within the next couple minutes here to give themselves a chance.
Finley, first down throw was too high to the outside of Harmon. Harmon's had a big game tonight, 116 yards, 11 times he's been targeted, has the touchdown catch.
Got to think about trying to get some points with about 3.5 to 4 minutes left in the ball game, and hope your defense can get another stop. Second half, North Carolina State has had 7 drives, and their average starting field position has been their own 19. Clemson has really owned the field position battle here in the second half.
They'll run the ball with Gillespie. He gets a good hole, and Reggie Gillespie offers something to midfield. 22-yard run.
Clemson was thinking pass. They had some smaller bodies, and look at the drive block by the left guard. Teron Prescott just buried his man, and Gillespie ran right behind him.
That's the guy they call Big T. Gillespie this time can't bounce it. Holly.
Guys, one of the reasons that gaping hole was open up front for Clemson is their starting defensive tackle who should have been in that spot. Dexter Lawrence is out right now. He's been testing an ankle injury on the sideline, limping around over here, but he has been unable to return to this game. With the other guys having played a lot of snaps, Christian Wilkins is tired. He's bloody. We'll see if they can hold up front.
A lot has been asked of both sides here. So Lawrence out of action. He was the breakout player of college football last year as a freshman. Second and 11 throw is complete for a first down to Lewis.
Lawrence missed some time last week in the win against Georgia Tech. Nice throw that time by Finley. Again, good protection, only the 1 sack, and really that sack was Finley's fault. He slipped and fell down. He wasn't tackled by a Clemson defender. This offensive line doing their job. Again, they need to score quickly this possession.
Finley looks left and gets it complete to Lewis again, who will have another first down for the Wolfpack.
I wouldn't mind seeing him go with a slant and go again. They've hit a couple slants. He threw the interception on a slant. See if one of these corners will bite on something short and run by him.
Gillespie, well blocked again. He goes for 9 yards this time.
That's their patented play. That's their favorite run play. The stretch play, the outside zone, all of their backs run it well.
And timeout is going to be used by Brent Venables and that Clemson defense. 3:40 to play. NC State trying to score here on this drive. You know, Finley and Bryant have made it fun here as we look at our Pacific Life game summary, the quarterback comparison. Finley started off red hot, looking to answer here now and close this 10-point margin. Kelly Bryant for Clemson, he's got the touchdown pass, but 82 on the ground and 2 rushing touchdowns as well.
Clemson, we talked about being a little banged up at corner. They are in their base personnel right now. 4 defensive backs, 3 linebackers.
Here's Gillespie on 2nd and 2. Inside the 10, it'll be 1st and goal, Wolfpack.
I really think that timeout by Brent Venables, he needed to get his troops collected, but it helped North Carolina State. They were able to call 2 plays and come right up to the line here after the 1st down.
Here's the boot. Cleveland Farrell chasing. No option left for Ryan Finley.
Really nice play by Farrell. They tried to fool the Clemson defense, thought that the naked bootleg would fool him and he could run in, and Farrell stayed at home.
And that's a tough guy to get away from if he stays.
Clock continues to run. That worked against him.
Samuel's in that H spot to the right side. Always watch out for him, number 1.
Taking a lot of time.
That was dangerous as Samuel slipped as he was trying to make that in cut. And it was nearly an opportunity for Kayvon Wallace to come up with an interception.
Yeah, he was going to be open, but he slipped and fell. The good news for North Carolina State is the clock stopped. The bad news, it's 3rd down.
12th play of this drive. The must-have drive for NC State. 3rd and goal. Pumps. And then checks down. Gillespie lowers the shoulder and tries to get as much as he could to the 4-yard line.
See, it was a good drive. It took a lot of plays. It's taken too much time, though, Joe. They've got to score twice. They needed to score this first either touchdown or field goal with about 3.5 minutes left. They're going to be under 2 minutes, and they still have to get a stop from their defense. This drive has taken 6 minutes, and it needed to take about half that to come away with points. And you have to score twice. You have to have a little different sense of urgency. What is this Clemson player doing laying on the ground? Okay, he's up now.
Well, this is Kyle Bamberg coming in. Remember, he missed the potential game-winning field goal against Clemson last year. And how about that? That must feel so good for him. Carson Wise was the starting place kicker. Everybody remembers what happened last year when these two met up. It was a chance to win it for Bamberg, but he missed. And Clemson would go to overtime. So the guy who's just been the kickoff specialist comes in when they needed it, and he's able to deliver.
But, Joe, here's the difference. Last year, the game was tied, 17-17.
Yes, the game was on the line.
And they took the ball with 6:39 left and drove it all the way down and then missed the kick. That was a different scenario. This scenario, they needed to get the ball down the field faster, score, get a stop from their defense, and try to score again. A much different scenario, even though they have made it a one-possession game. The clock is against them right now.
3 timeouts remain. 1:51, but the 3 timeouts.
And I don't think you think onside kick here. I think you kick it deep and hope your defense, which has played pretty well, can get a stop with the timeouts.
Right. With the timeouts, you have that option.
Right. Kick it deep. Use the timeouts. Now, it looks like Clemson is going to line up expecting onside kick, which means you should be able to get this ball deep. I don't think you onside kick here and give them good field position. I think you kick it deep, use your timeouts, and play defense.
And it's Carson Wise now who will take the short approach here. And it's a dribbler. It's a bunt onside, and the ball is being fought for. On first look, it looked like a Clemson player possesses it, and he does.
Rolling on the field, the ball is recovered by Clemson. 1st down.
I think it was Thompson. The young wide receiver who came up with it. Got to tell you, Todd, not a fan of the bunt dribble or onside kick in a spot like that. Especially with your kicker going in against that group, hands teams, speedy guys trying to recover it. Kick away, you got the 3 timeouts. That's the strategy you were talking about.
Well, the thing is, you still use your timeouts here, but Clemson has the field position.
Correct.
So even if you get a stop, you're going to have to go a long field when you get the ball back, if you get the ball back.
Hey, listen, you're Dave Doran. You're playing number 4. You nearly had him last year. Sometimes you roll the dice. It didn't break their way that time. 3 timeouts remain in the bag. Could have gone with a double bounce, more traditional onside. They went with a dribble or bunt. Here's Kelly Bryant, straight up the middle. And he will get it to the 40-yard line, a gain of 7.
Those coaches on the Clemson sideline are telling Kelly Bryant, get what you can get and get down.
First time out, North Carolina State.
Don't let them hold you up and try to strip the football.
And that is the first timeout used as Hyatt is limping for all ACC left tackle. Reminder that Virginia Tech and Miami are coming up. Number 13, the Hokies, and top 10 is undefeated Miami. Chris Kirk and Maria will have the call. That big one tonight on ABC at 8 o'clock. Both ranked in the top 15. First time that's happened with Virginia Tech and Miami since 2009.
A lot of people will be watching that game. I'm sure Tito Zanaboni will be tuning into that
no
one.
No doubt about it. Maybe some drinking some of that guy's first name as well, enjoying that one. Going to get back to the hotel, have ourselves a big night of viewing, but for now, some drama to unfold. Minute 43, 2 timeouts remaining. Got to stop him.
I think Kelly Bryant's the only guy that carries the football here for Clemson. Keep it in his hands.
And he is stacked up, just what they needed, so they can use that timeout and look for the 3rd down stop. 1 timeout will remain. Well managed for right now for Dave Doran. He went for the onside kick knowing that he has the 3 timeouts in the bag to utilize and ask a lot of his outstanding defensive line.
Now the question for Clemson too, I mean, normally you would run any play to your left side because your left tackle is your best player, Mitch Hyatt. He hobbled off a couple plays ago and he's still on the sideline. So where do you go with this 3rd down play? That's Jeff Scott, the co-offensive coordinator, in the middle of that huddle. Tony Elliott, the other coordinator, in the press box. North Carolina State with 1 timeout left. But you know what? Clemson's not going to attempt a field goal from this range. I mean, this is 2-down territory probably for them.
Kelly Bryant stacked up again. Fernandez and the rest did it.
So do you punt here if you're Dabo, or do you just try to run another play and get a 1st down?
And give credit to Dave Doran. He took a risk going for the onside, knowing he's got a defensive front that can win it for him, and he's got the 3 timeouts to utilize.
Well, you got to get the stop regardless, whether it's on that end of the field or this end.
The short field obviously took a risk to do so. Wanted to give a shot at getting that ball. Didn't get it. Needed his defense to have the stop right then and there, and they did. And now here it is with Will Spires out there for Clemson.
Spires will try to drop this thing inside the 10-yard line if he can and give North Carolina State a long field to work with.
With no timeouts remaining. And it goes into the end zone. So a minute 24 to try to tie the game. That guy right there, Ryan Finley, started off so hot.
Nearing 300 yards. 3 touchdowns and an interception. None of those numbers matter right now. All that matters is this drive. And as a quarterback, any quarterback can tell you these are the kind of moments and drives that you dream about.
Let's see what he comes up with. Defense did the job for him. Now it's up to Finley. Quick to the outside, but incomplete. He was trying to find Myers again. He's been targeting him all day.
I'll tell you, I've been impressed with how well this North Carolina State offensive line has protected the quarterback. Now, this is a tough situation here. End of the ball game. They're tired. Clemson knows NC State has to pass. They're going to pin their ears back, but they've protected their guy extremely well tonight.
Second down. They go on the slant, and he gets it complete to Lewis. Remember, no timeouts. Clock will run here, as it'll be 3rd and about 2.
Got to convert. The clock will stop if you convert to first down until they reset the chains.
Finley on 3rd and 2. Batted. That was batted by Lamar. 6'4" middle linebacker Trey Lamar got up and got a piece of it, so it is 4th down with a minute to play. Well, they filmed Survive and Advance right down the street, and that's exactly what Clemson is trying to do here.
Well, this is where you want those big-bodied receivers. You got to make contested catches. They've run a lot of slants. Will they try it again here on 4th down? Clemson wants a timeout to talk about it.
Timeout, Clemson. Second charge from the half. 30-second timeout.
Well, Sports Center's coming up late night after Arizona USC. We're going to talk about the impact that Bedlam has on the college football playoff. Herbie will give us his new top 4. We'll size up the Heisman race. It's getting very interesting. That's with Linda Cohn and Stan Verrett, Sports Center tonight after Arizona USC. Fourth down and 2. Kelly Bryant and the Tigers trying to take a step closer to the ACC championship. Almost assuredly, the winner of this game mathematically will be there, but of course, even bigger for Clemson. 4th-ranked team in the college football playoff.
Jacoby Myers has been your leading receiver today. 9 catches, 105 yards. Kelvin Harmon, 6 catches, 116 yards. And Jalen Samuels has been your go-to guy all season. All 3 are to the right.
To stay alive on 4th and 2. Finley. Can he get to the corner? First down, NC State. And a penalty flag comes in at the end, as Austin Bryan was given chase.
I think they got the freshman, A.J. Terrell, maybe, with the penalty at the end.
And Bryant is down on the ground on his own sideline.
First down.
Good. I'm glad there's no call. They got the first down. They got what they needed. Nice play by Finley. Play on. New set of downs. Gets out of the pocket, runs away from Austin Bryant. Here's the hit at the end of the play. Wasn't much, and a good no call.
And good news with Bryant coming back onto the field for Clemson. So 53 seconds remain, no timeout. First down, life again for NC State.
Can't take a sack.
Finley. Big throw and catch to Harmon. And he gets out. 18-yard reception.
The big-bodied receivers throwing it up in between 2 defenders and let your guy go fight for the football. Kelvin Harmon, 6'3", 215 pounds.
And now 50 yards away from a little magic. Finley with time again. Same direction, same result. Kelvin Harmon.
He's working on Ray McLeod, who is now playing defensive back. Because of the injuries, they got a wide receiver playing defensive back, and they're going after him.
41 seconds remain. Finley again. He wants more this time, but he threw it to the outside of Harmon.
Right now, Elijah Drinkwitz recognizes the situation. Ray McLeod has worked at defensive back all year. He switched his number this week because of the injuries, knowing that they might need him. He's out there now in crunch time.
That is how thin it's gotten for the Clemson defensive backfield. Star receiver and punt returner is out there playing corner.
Don't forget about the middle of the field either. Even though you don't have any timeouts, the clock can stop on a first down. A lot of room in between the safeties in this Clemson defense.
Finley over the middle, as you said, as he was looking for Samuels. It'll be 3rd and 10 with 32 ticks remaining. Took over on their own 20 with 1:24 left. Dave Doran got the ball back and put it in the hands of his quarterback, Ryan Finley. And they will have a couple shots here.
Ray McLeod's in the corner up here at the top. Ryan Carter is down in the slot. He's playing the nickel right here.
3rd and 10. Finley wants it all. Incomplete. Big collision. Wallace came in on Samuels there, and O'Daniel was trailing.
But that's what's been open. The middle of the field, and Samuels was open, but a beautiful play by Kayvon Wallace. Perfect throw, good route, and the safety did his job running through the football and knocking it loose.
Kayvon Wallace, the sophomore safety. A big break up there.
Now Clemson's in a prevent. You got to find a soft spot and convert the 4th down here. Look how deep the safeties are for Clemson this time. And they're going to take another timeout.
Timeout Clemson. Second charge timeout of the half.
Boy, that was a beautiful route and a beautiful throw and an outstanding play by Kayvon Wallace. The middle of the field was open. They attacked it, and the safety made a heck of a play.
Great drama for these fans who a year ago thought they had Clemson. Missed that field goal in regulation, lost in overtime. And now they sit here watching their team overcome the deficit, put themselves in position in striking distance. They took over with 1:24.
I would be surprised if Brent Venables stays with a prevent type defense here. It's 4th down and 10. Make them make a tough throw against good coverage. If you play a prevent in a loose zone defense and you leave some holes open, you give North Carolina State a chance to convert, and then they still have some time to kill the clock or get out of bounds and take a couple shots at the end zone.
But for now, they need 10 critical yards. Can Clemson survive? Can NC State get it done? Let's get the answer here. 4th and 10.
They changed the coverage.
Finley steps up. That's a first down. A spin. A flag is down. We will check on that. But for now, Jacoby Myers is inside the 5.
It was thrown right at the line of scrimmage.
Illegal shift. Two-man moving and not getting set before the snap. 5-yard penalty.
Yep.
4th down.
The outside receiver, they were trying to adjust who was on the line and who was off the line. Watch out. Out here, the outside receiver is going to shift late, and the ball is snapped before they're done. 2 guys moving, an unfortunate error by North Carolina State, and they would have converted.
And a penalty that had little impact on the realities and the outcome of that play.
My goodness.
So it backs them up to a 4th and 15. Finley, clock running down. Intercepted to close the show. Kayvon Wallace again. And he's still going. Wallace finally out with double zeros on the clock. He had the big play prior and then seals the deal for the Tigers.
Finley steps up in the pocket. It's a 3-man rush. 8 dropping into coverage. He needs 15. The ball just sails on him a little bit. 15 yards needed is so much different than 10. And now it's sailed, and Kayvon Wallace with 2 gigantic plays to end this game.
Let's hear from Dabo.
Well, Dabo, on a night that your secondary was so depleted, how fitting was it that they were the ones who saved this game?
Well, just really, Kayvon made 2 great plays down the stretch, but, first of all, hey, give this crowd a great credit. Give NC State, man, they got a heck of a football team. This is a very, very experienced and mature team, and they showed that tonight. It was down to the last play, but I'm proud of our guys. We got a young team and a bunch of guys I think grew up tonight. Kayvon's one of them, but hey, it was a game, a November type game, but we're very fortunate to get out here with a win. Proud of our team. We did what we needed to do, but we still got business to take care of. But heck of a ball game. Heck of a ball game.
You've been telling your team all week that the championship phase starts now. What were some of the championship moments that stood out to you in this game?
Well, first of all, they didn't flinch. I think if you're going to win on the road and win, be a championship caliber team, you can't flinch when you have some adversity. We stunk it up in the first half. We were awful on defense and, had a bad turnover, but they didn't flinch. And they came back. We got a little control of the game in the third quarter. But you know what? NC State, give them credit too, because they didn't quit and they fought back. And it was 2 teams fighting for the same thing, and we just were fortunate to come out on top tonight. But proud of our guys for the resiliency and just finding a way to win.
Thank you, Coach.
Okay, thank you.
I think Dabo did a nice job there of summing it up, but simply saying at the beginning, that's November football.
Yeah.
Folks, that's what November football looks like.
That's right.
Pressure packed, everything on the line, and you got to step up
and deal with adversity, like you talked about. And that's exactly what happened. They came in here. North Carolina State gave them their best shot. They came after them all the way to the very end, and they hung in there. And it's no accident they played for the national championship 2 years in a row. This is a program that is very solid. They believe in themselves. They've got great culture, and they were pushed to the limit today, but found a way to win.
I'll tell you, NC State fought right to the end.
Absolutely.
Last year they nearly got them here. They fought right to the end, Todd.
Very impressive team. Dave Doran's got a good squad. Another heartbreaking loss, but this is a good football team.
38-31, Clemson survives. Virginia Tech, Miami still to come here on ABC. That should be a great one. Big deciding day in the ACC. This has been a presentation of college football on ABC. For Todd Blackledge and Holly Rowe, I'm Joe Tessitore. Enjoy the rest of your night.